cranking out on this synth organ or something. What an absolute fucking vibe this soundtrack is, huh? I can't stop buying records because of this cunt. Bro, is this helping you? Look at this gorgeous black and white split, would ya? Oh my god. Just sitting there spinning with this fucking epic fucking escalation of synth piano just cranking off. Oh my goodness. You know, I didn't buy the Chrono Trigger 4LP release that was up for pre-order and announced 2 days ago. I didn't buy that. It's like $175 US before shipping. So before shipping, that's already $250 or something for me, and then it's gonna be $300 or something, and I'm like, fuck. Like, don't get me wrong. Love some Chrono Trigger. But I don't know if it's a $300 soundtrack for me. I don't know if it's quite up there. There are some that I've put that kind of cash down, like the Breath of the Wild soundtrack. I definitely threw down for that. Not the limited edition blue weird speckled one. I just got the black ones. Because I think Breath of the Wild soundtrack's something else. You know, it's such a very unique, interesting, strange musical composition that so beautifully fits that world. And it was the first time Nintendo had done a vinyl release. I thought, fuck, they're testing the waters for some big ones, you know? I'm getting in on the ground floor. But, I don't know. Chrono Trigger seems... So I don't get them all, right, Lightfellow? You can't get them all. You gotta know which battles to fucking... to fight. That doesn't mean I won't cave and buy the Chrono Trigger one at some point. It's just right now. Soul Reaver Day 2. Soul Reaver 2 Day 1. Must be my lucky night. Old Splatterhand. I'm pumped, mate. How are ya? Keen as fuck to check out Soul Reaver 2. I hear it's better than the first. So it's got that going for it. I'm so pumped for you. It is indeed. Good. I'm excited. Thank you very much for your assistance, Alice, in getting me through the first one, getting what we needed out of it. Not just narratively or music compositionally, but a fundamental understanding of where the series went after Blood Omen. Because I think that's going to be a pretty big part of me trying to figure out why it went that way. Facilitated in large part by something that Hope said to me yesterday that I now have more information on, that I imagine some of you have already seen.
By Victus!
Deformis, second of Annalyn. Remember, lightning does not discriminate between the living and the dead.
The creator legacy of... I almost didn't fucking retweet this because of just how ridiculous this sloppy fucking intro is and how obvious these check marks on Twitter have become in their fucking farming revenue through regurgitating other people's shit. But it was the easiest way for me to get the information I needed. It's just very frustrating to me that this is what I used to do. Inform people within this industry. This is what it's become. I, 'cause Interesting question, Eric. It depends on whether or not they're grounded, doesn't it? A narrative-driven action RPG. You play as the undead, fighting the living. It's a spiritual successor to Blood Omen, not to Blood Omen 2. Interested to see what Blood Omen 2 is all about. You play as one of 7 classes: vampires, revenants, ghouls, wraiths, wights, banshees. Early access, just the vampire. Classes are balanced across 3 core attributes: physical, magical, and essential, as in essence. Abilities are customized through collectible tarot cards and inscriptions. Also, this cunt's a checkmark. Why the fuck is this supposed to split up? The world of Malorum was formed in a cataclysmic collision between 2 sister planets that permanently twisted them together, body and soul. It is the only world in the Novasol system that has not yet been claimed by any one ancient, and so has become a battleground for their timeless conflict for cosmic dominance. The game aims to remove RNG. Loot is earned by specific feats and performance metrics, meaning you play to craft your rewards. And it supports 1 to 6 players in cooperative play, featuring a persistent world influenced by player choices. Early access this year, solo and co-op, Unreal 5. Story first in a 6-player co-op game is very interesting. Dennis Didak's Psychological Depth. Dennis Didak. Is this the original creator? Diak, not Didak. Is that a different motherfucker? Yeah, it looks like it. Let's go Wikipedia. By the way, I checked out the first bit of your Shadow of Colossus playthrough on Patreon. It was such a joy to see you being in awe. Nice, man. A lot of people tuned in for that one. It was a special one. I'm glad to have got a new version of it up on Patreon. It looks like people want Red Dead Redemption 2 next, so I'll start working on that tomorrow. Silicon Knights, the former president of Silicon Knights. Now, they've made some fucking games that I loved. Twin Snakes, that's it. And the original Blood Omen. Okay. But yes, the original Blood Omen. And of course, Eternal Darkness, which I believe is what this cunt went on to make after Blood Omen. They took his series? The project seems ambitious. It makes me a bit reserved. The abilities seem interesting enough. Yeah, look, honestly, from watching that particular trailer, it looks rough as guts. And incredibly ambitious. But we'll see. Hello, Dr. Charger. How are you? What's going on, mate? Made my first silly purchase of Doctorhood. I bought an entirely overpowered PC because I wanted to. Good on you, mate. You bloody earned it. You bloody earned it. What are you going to play on it? Have you got something lined up? You going to pop out a bit of fucking classic Blood Omen Legacy of Kain on that bitch? Through GOG? And he's directing Dead House Sonata. He co-founded Silicon Knights in '92, transitioning to console development with Blood Omen for the original PlayStation. I think gamers can expect what they normally expect from us. The relationship with Microsoft's going to be something very unique. Yeah, how'd that work out? So was every relationship with Microsoft. Cyberpunk, good man. That was the right answer. It was a test. And you passed. Didac explained that the disillusion from Nintendo occurred because at the time the company wanted to focus on party games. And it didn't fit their portfolio. Lovely. Too Human. I remember that one. That must have been their Xbox, their Microsoft partnership. Shortly after Silicon Knights filed a new appeal in the Epic Games case, the closure of the company was announced. Over a fucking comic book game as well. What a disgusting turn of events. Why did Mono, by the way, what the fuck's going on, man? Yeah. I haven't touched the remake. That's the only one that I've played. But it seemed very much beat for beat. Just a visual enhancement. 96 gig of RAM? Jesus Christ. You did overspend. Stay in medical school, kids. And you too can get 96 fucking gig of RAM in 2026 and act like it's nothing. That's what you get. Been saving for 10 years, there you go, good man. Probably a good time to buy it. They're saying that you won't be able to buy your own computer 10 years from now. It'll be too expensive. And then that's when they'll be pushing the computers on the cloud. You just rent it thing. So you may have just made the best decision of your fucking life. Do we know how Soul Reaver came to be? Why did Silicon Knights not make it? Did they sell the license? Yeah, the 5090s seem like a decent card. Developed by Crystal Dynamics. It's a sequel to Blood Omen. Yep. 15 years after the events of Blood Omen, yep. They began developing in 97, a year after Blood Omen. They lost a lawsuit with Crystal Dynamics. Interesting. Crystal Dynamics began development, but a deteriorating relationship with Silicon Knights, who had developed Blood Omen, creating legal problems. This and other delays forced material that was originally planned for Soul Reaver to be instead released with later games of the series. Nice. Explains the sudden, abrupt ending of Soul Reaver, I think, as well. Soul Reaver gained critical acclaim. Critics praised it because it was a popular fucking video game and it was 3D and you could do jumping on things. Yeah, whatever. Cool. By 2001, the game sold 1.5 million copies worldwide. The less we read about the gameplay, the better. It entered development alongside Blood Omen 2 and focused on puzzle solving instead of Blood Omen 2's action. During design, the development team created larger areas that could be explored more thoroughly, avoiding the shallowness of Blood Omen's layout. Fuck, that aged well. Crystal Dynamics based Soul Reaver on Silicon Knights' research of vampire mythology for Blood Omen. They nailed that part. Other aspects of the game, such as the idea of a fallen vampire who devoured souls, were inspired by the epic poem Paradise Lost. They added their new bent to the story. The more arty renderings of the old black and white Nosferatu in a great film for the 80s called Near Dark. Character and level designs were influenced by Islamic art, culture, anime, manga, including Vampire Hunter D, and the films of Hayao Miyazaki. Yeah, Ghibli, that's right. The staff aimed to develop gameplay similar to Tomb Raider and use an upgraded version of Gex 3's game engine to generate the three-dimensional game world. Yeah. Uh-huh. Before Soul Reaver's release, the relationship between Silicon Knights and Crystal Dynamics dissolved. Because their research was used, Silicon Knights filed an injunction to stop further promotion of the game. Other delays pushed the release date from October to August. Oh, right. I want to know more about this Fallout. Hey, Turos, how are you, mate? What's going on, dude? You've been reading Paradise Lost? There you go. Nice. Saros will be PS5 only? Wait, Returnal PS5 only? Or as in PS5 only for 5 minutes? Or actual PS5 only? Nice, Volpin. That's awesome, dude. Enjoy. Returnal's fucking fantastic. In an interview, series director Amy Hennig stated the development team split the original...
He is an old one. Almost as old as me.
Bomb-pating. 6 years, mate. Happy fucking anniversary. Thank you. Good to see you. Probably for 5 minutes. I figured as much, yeah. This decision explains Soul Reaver's cliffhanger ending and the appearance of originally planned material in later games. I figured. Despite the split, Hennig explained that the team left unused components such as extra power-ups and enemies in Soul Reaver's game engine to avoid unforeseen glitches that might have arisen from their removal. Okay.
Well now.
Oh, Shawnee as well, 76 months. Bloody hell. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Here I am, you know, living my fucking life. Just the way I want to. On the back of your bloody generosity / interest and intrigue in the crazy machinations of my career. Couldn't do it without you, mate. Cheers. There doesn't seem to be any information about the split. Just that it happened and they went their separate ways. So Silicon Knights made Blood Omen and then they started making Soul Reaver with another company, Crystal Dynamics. And then there was a disagreement and Crystal Dynamics took the game and launched it? That's what I'm getting. There must be more to it than this. Were Crystal Dynamics making the game and Silicon Knights were, you know, consulting on it? And that's why... Because it seems like the injunction was really just about research. Their research was used. I remember reading a Reddit thread that talks more about the split. It doesn't have sources, but I could throw it. Yeah, throw it. I wouldn't mind having a little gander. It's very fascinating. I wouldn't have minded up until now, but with the announcement of this, now I mind. Because it feels... This cunt says Ve Victus, for Christ's sake.
Victus.
You know what I mean? Like, this is there's on the nose and then there's I'm bringing my own shit back. I don't get it. This was from 2 years ago. As others have said, this is a messy story. I hope you're sitting comfortably. In 1993, developers Silicon Knights were looking for publishers to assist in the development of their next game. Okay. Publishers to assist in the development. Maybe they wanted a bit more reach, they wanted to get on PlayStation, etc., etc. They partnered with Crystal Dynamics, who were publishers at the time, and signed a development agreement that stated Crystal Dynamics would fund, publish, and develop Silicon Knights development of what became Blood Omen 1. As per the usual agreements, this meant the publisher gained control of the IP. Okay, wait a second. So, Blood Omen 1 was published by then publisher Crystal Dynamics? There's a no-clip documentary about Soul Reaver that addresses the Fallout. I think I have to watch that after 2. After I play 2. Right. So because Crystal Dynamics published Blood Omen, they owned the IP. What they didn't tell Silicon Knights at the time was that they were planning to transition to developers. As the project progressed, it seemed that Crystal Dynamics weren't happy with the progress and began to hire developers to assist developing the game. They sent a large delegation of Crystal Dynamics developers across to help get the game finished, including Amy Hennig, who's credited as the story writer, I believe, of Soul Reaver. At some point, they hit a point of no return, and with all the developers hired, they had to make a transition. This meant they were unable to meet their publishing and distribution commitments. Crystal Dynamics negotiated with other partners, including Activision, to finish the publishing and distribution of the game on other platforms, but this left Silicon Knights with a smaller slice of the pie than originally planned, and Crystal Dynamics may have represented themselves to these partners as if they were the developers. Silicon Knights was not happy. Blood Omen 1 was enough of a success that the sequel plans were made by Activision, and Activision approached Crystal Dynamics to make a sequel, codenamed Kain 2, which must be Blood Omen 2. A short while later, they realized that Silicon Knights had actually developed the game and quietly commissioned them to make a competing proposal. So Activision got all dirty with it, did they? Deadhouse, yeah, I've been idle. I only just saw it yesterday, so. Reads like the ZAUM Disco Elysiums? Yeah. There's more of that coming out through NoClip as well. Bit fucking filthy. The two proposals found out about each other. And to put it mildly, bad things happen. So Activision just fucking, yeah, didn't give a fuck. But pitted these two cunts against each other. Sounds to me like Crystal Dynamics opened that door, though, by making it sound like they were the developers. They clearly loved what Silicon Knights were doing, but wanted to take control of it. And legally, they were allowed to, because they owned the IP, because they published Blood Omen. Lots of dirty tricks and things which look downright nasty in the cold light of day. Having stirred the hornet's nest, Activision cancels the project and backs away from the IP. Meanwhile, Crystal Dynamics seeks to assert their ownership of the IP, asking a separate team to adapt one of their planned projects, Shifter, to become a Blood Omen 1 sequel. And as we know, Shifter ended up becoming the base for Soul Reaver 1, which is why you can shift between the dimensions and change the terrain. They give it the early code name Kain 2. When Silicon Knights see the early previews and sue, assuming Crystal Dynamics has stolen their work on the previously cancelled Kain 2. Right. After a messy court case, the judgment is that Crystal Dynamics failed in their commitments, but as per the original agreement, they held control of the IP. Silicon Knights walked away from the IP with a settlement that made sure to attribute them as the original developers. Soon after, developer Crystal Dynamics was brought by publishers Eidos, who, as per traditional agreements, gained control of the IP, and Legacy of Kain became a Crystal Dynamics Eidos project from then on, which is the Soul Reaver 1 we know today, I believe. Silicon Knights made some poor legal choices of their own and ceased to exist a few years ago. After Eternal Darkness and whatnot. Oh, and they did the port for Twin Snakes, which didn't go so well, although I really liked it. Although a successor studio which ties to Dyack did pitch for control of the IP, and a different successor with Dyack was recently working on a spiritual successor to Blood Omen 1 called Dead House Sonata. That was 2 years ago. So Dead House Sonata has certainly been in the work for a bit. Oh, the 2 human thing as well. That seemed to go pretty bad. Eidos, meanwhile, went through a few owners before the IP was brought by Embracer, who upgraded Crystal Dynamics to publishers once more a couple years ago. Wow. Going off memory, but you'll find lots of articles and wikis. Unsourced nonsense, but let's say Silicon Knights were the developers, and yeah, what, are you just reiterating what they said, or yeah, I don't understand why you would just make a post that is what this cunt said, but in bullet point form. So what I don't understand here is, where is Blood Omen 2? Was that also made by Crystal Dynamics? It was. And Dyack has nothing to do with it, right? And as far as I know, it tanked? Honestly, I wouldn't call that tanking. I'd say that it was middling compared to the others, but generally favorable reviews. It doesn't seem like it did too bad. Is this so we back then we didn't have a critics and audience rating? Silicon Knights had a nasty fallout with Epic over their failing to meet obligations on a prototype of Unreal Engine 3. They broke the NDA when complaining about it. Epic sued them and the company is killed. Oh, good. I'm so glad that the creators of Fortnite have such a wonderful history of ruining this fucking industry before making Fortnite, and basically ruining video games for an entire fucking generation of children. And if you can't attribute it to them, well, you'd have to just give it to Roblox then. I'm not sure which of them deserves the medal for turned every single fucking human being child into a player of that one video game. After 30 years of incredibly gorgeous diversity in gaming genre, style, and enjoyment, didn't feel as well executed as the first. Yeah, well, comparing things to the first is one way to look at a sequel, but then as it stands on its own, it doesn't seem like it's so bad. I'm very curious to see what the fuck happened. I'm more interested to know why they made it. They clearly wanted to go do their own thing with Soul Reaver 1 and 2, and then they come back to the Kain story? Very interesting. You know what? I don't need to look that far ahead right now. This was nice. It's very important to me to know who created the original Blood Omen now, because of how different it is to me to Soul Reaver, and how much I like it over Soul Reaver. Now, I do think that Crystal Dynamics hired the right people to develop Soul Reaver. I think they took the story in its own direction. It's kind of like a spin-off, really, but also a direct sequel 1,500 years later. And most importantly, it absolutely fucks. Like, it takes some of the coolest parts of the original Blood Omen and then turns them on their head with the idea that your character is one of the Seraphim, and knowing the kind of like the Kain Vorador relationship with regards to the war against the humans, and then what Kain inevitably did. Like, it takes so much of what makes Blood Omen's narrative delicious, and then ramps it up. So incredibly well done, regardless of all the nonsense. But I'm very interested. I'm sure it was very difficult for Dennis Dyack to see it that way. Now that he's like, fuck these cunts, I'm coming back and I'm remaking Blood Omen and we're gonna go crazy with it. I'm very interested. Now again, this seems to have been in development for some time, but it also seems to be a very early alpha that's going into early access this year. Very interesting. Yeah, Hope. I was just looking up the whole sort of history of how this all came to be. After you mentioned it yesterday, I saw a tweet straight after, well, the day after, this morning, with more info. Very interesting info, like 7 classes, 6-player co-op in a persistent world. All of a sudden, very different. I think the most interesting part is remove RNG. That's a big I want to change video games energy, you know? Like the direction of games went one way and I was there before it went that way and I want to bring it around, you know? That's big Dyack dick energy is what I'm coining that phrase today for future. Because you got to remember, when I played Nier Gestalt, there was no Nier Automata, right? Nobody was talking about a Nier sequel. Nobody had been talking about a Nier sequel for years. And then as soon as I got to Nier, in one of my little retro throwbacks, all of a sudden, brand new Nier game, you know? So I think it's probably not a stretch to say that the reason Nier Automata exists is because of me. And so in the same vein, me now coming to Soul Reaver and then like, what, the day after I finish it? What's happening here? I feel like there's a universal, cohesive kind of glue that's coming together here, and if this, you know, if this Dyack dick energy does prove true, and we have a generational game on our hands here, I don't think it would be a stretch to say that that I am the reason for that. So you know, I think it's important that we take this time now. To acknowledge that and to recognize it before we start playing Soul Reaver 2. A game made by those fucking cunts at Crystal Dynamics that took everything and debased it. I think that's probably about as good of a setup for Soul Reaver 2 as we're going to get. So without further ado, let's fucking get in there and take a fucking look. And we'll talk about Dread Mist a bit later. Yoko Taro's stories are next to Legacy of Kain in terms of intricacy. Both of them are equal in my eyes. They're just non-generic, you know. They take generic themes that we're all very, very familiar with, whether they be, you know, vampire fucking mythology or psychological, philosophical constructs, and then they reframe them in these very, very interesting and unique ways, using characters, using good characters that we feel for immediately to express that. It's beautiful. I mean, you made 2 people start existing too. Exactly, Mungussi. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for your service. You're very welcome. Yeah. Can you please play Godhead? Soon. I've still got a PS2 copy of that my friend lent me. I got to get to. G'day, Francis. Yeah, the dude who made the original Blood Omen and then had the series stolen from him is making another Blood Omen. Now, history suggests that every single time the original creator of something has had something stolen from them by some cunt corporation because of a contract that they didn't read properly and then have gone back to make their own fucking shit based on that, even though it's not that, but it looks exactly like that, has kind of turned out real bad. Like, best case scenario, you get Bloodstained. And no matter how much you like it, you know it's like 6% of what Symphony of the Night was, you know? But just because it never worked before doesn't mean it won't work now, right? There's every chance that Dyack is going to come through It's going to bring Blood Omen back to the table in the new world with a bunch of new fucking concepts. They're going to just take it. Not like the world's all there, but like new gameplay concepts. No RNG. I'm very interested. 6-player co-op with a focus on narrative. That's like saying, imagine if V Rising was a story game. How does that work? I don't know, but I'm fucking keen to find out. Yeah, I saw Jem playing it this morning, Hope, and Sequisha playing it yesterday. I'm like, yeah, I'm playing that. It's like trying to make lightning strike twice. Yeah. And capture it in one of those empty bottles that Link carries around. Like, maybe you get lightning to strike in the same spot twice, but actually managing to get it into a bottle just by swooping the air and making a "hya" sound, chances are it's not going to happen. And it does, I think it reeks, and I don't mean this in a negative sense whatsoever, because I understand how passionate we are as people about the things that we create and the things that we love, but it reeks of desperation and failed creativity. It's like, I had this one idea, and I managed to bring that idea to life and create something incredible that a bunch of cunts stole and went on to make a bunch of other really incredible things with it. And instead of having just another idea and going with it, which the cunts have obviously had over at Silicon Knights, now it's like, no, I can't let it go. Like, this was the one, you know? I need to go back. I need to do it again. There's a desperation to that I think always comes through. And it's like, well, why not just go and do something new? But as an artist, I also understand how it feels to just have no new fucking ideas and to just want to keep going back to the stuff that you had when you were younger, when it was all easy, maybe. I don't know. Callisto Protocol, dude, I was so excited when those cunts got out from under EA, you know, finally. The Dead Space guys are gonna make new games without EA. Fuck yeah, what are they gonna make? Dead Space. Again. Oh. Well, you guys haven't had enough of that? Are there no other things to make? What? How does this go in your mind? Like, you somehow make Dead Space again, and it's even better than Dead Space plus nostalgia and victory. No, it's fairly fucking obvious that you're going to make a shitter version of the shit that you started with. It's just going to fall off the map. And Jesus Christ, we're talking about shitter fucking versions. I did a segment of that game with an actual blindfold on to illustrate how one can game the combat system without having to see. I mean, great accessibility and all that, but yeah. Hey, Deathmans, how you going, man? The number of times I was able to capture things in a bottle by swinging it through the air and making "hya" sound, I wish I could sell that level of awesome because I'd be rich. Okay, we're not all as lucky as you, Tank. Anubis, that's good. Bungie moving away from Activision with Destiny. Can't believe I let myself believe. Oh, the Minecraft server I was talking about is called Wincraft. You know what? I'm going to send you the photo, okay?
Yeah, and is it on Java or Bedrock?
Java. So you have to go to Java and then...
Normal Java?
Yeah, it says here, launch Minecraft Java, and then in multiplayer, click add server, and then enter play.windcraft.com for the IP, confirm, and log in. Now, as far as log
Can I
in...
just do that with Bedrock?
No, it says Java. Launch Minecraft Java Edition. It also says, grab your Minecraft Java Edition client and log in to play.wincraft.com. So I don't know what that part means. You'll have to check that out. I'll send you this. And yeah, see how she goes. There you go. I heard it's good. I only heard about it because people were saying that they're going to make it in Hightail. Give it a fang. If you need help, let me know. Hightail's not working. Oh, their update server might be crashing because like 8 billion people are trying to connect to it at once. Every single person on Earth right now is literally trying to update it at the same time, maybe. Could be true. Hightail is to Minecraft what Gmod is to the Source games. I like it. I like it. I'm interested. I like what Hightail's doing with mods. Like right now, Xander and I have CurseForge with Minecraft, and for the last 5 years, I've had like 800 fucking copies of Minecraft installed, each with different mod packs. Just the fact that Hightail lets you turn mods on and off within one client, and that's enough. It's enough for me to make the transition. Wincraft. I played that back when it first came out, and I was 13. Okay. Well, it's still going, apparently. Destiny, yeah. Like Blizzard, Bungie, for a time, were just, like, couldn't do anything wrong for me. Like, they were just always hitting. To think that I thought that they had been stolen, and then that once they got out from under the yoke of their evil oppressors, they would be... I actually went back to Destiny. And the first thing they did was like more microtransactions or some shit. I was like, oh, it was you all along, wasn't it? You're not the people that made Halo. All the people that made Halo left years ago. You're just a fucking logo. Oh. BioWare. Bungie. Blizzard. All the Bs, really. I don't know if it's desperation. They know to a certain extent that this is what their fans expect of them, and if they try something completely different as their first new game, those people will still compare to their original work. Maybe that's true. The foundation that they will build on in future titles when they have a war chest. The question is, do you get the war chest by A, rebuilding the same shit you already did, or B, making something fucking good? How the fuck did Blood Omen get an audience in the first place? Oh yeah, it was fucking good. Do we not live in a world now where you can make good shit and get noticed? Vampire Survivors won a BAFTA. If you make it, they will come. If it's good, some fucking cunt will find it. You don't even have to pay for your fucking promotion anymore. Just, what the fuck? Is Dread Mist? Why do I have it? Why does my brother have it? Who I haven't spoken to in years. Why does Sunch, a cunt I interviewed in Holland for a job 12, 13 years ago, 15 years ago, why does he have it? Why is Jim Smegley playing it right now? A cunt who I played video games with this week. What's happening? Why? Why is this? It must be. Oh, I know, because some fucking cunt on YouTube said play it. You don't need to remake Blood Omen because your fans expect it. Your fans don't expect it.
Well,
how tough am I?
Here's an old one.
Your fans
Almost as
expect
old as me.
some good shit. Do you think I'd have been upset if the cunt who made Castlevania Symphony of the Night and Castlevania in general didn't make another Castlevania game? Oh no, you only make Castlevania. You made Castlevania. You're only allowed to make Castlevania. I only like Castlevania and I only want you to make Castlevania. To reduce these fucking creative people down to just one fucking thing, because that's what I expect of you, you are nothing to me. Except that one brand that you invented on a fucking lunch break in the corner of a napkin or some shit. Vampire and Vampire Hunter, and he uses a whip. That's you for the rest of your fucking life to me. I don't want to hear about your other ideas. What a horrible, horrible way to view this industry. And moreover, I think, total bullshit. Absolute bullshit. If Didac Dick Energy wants to make some other shit, like Eternal Darkness, and it's fucking awesome, it'll get its own audience of sick-ass shit. I didn't even know that the cunt made both Eternal Darkness and fucking Blood Omen. I didn't need to. I was just an Eternal Darkness fan, because I happened to play that on my GameCube, you know, because what else were you going to play? Crazy Taxi? Forever? Actually, that was Dreamcast. Never mind. It might have been on GameCube as well, actually. Anyway. Talking about games by the same devs, Molyneux, oh, that's a name I haven't heard in 5 minutes, is working on a new game that's coming out in 3 months. It's set in Albion. Great. Exactly what I'm talking about. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's set in the same IP, does it? It's just, is it good or not, really? And it's usually not. Masters of Albion, huh? Let's have a look. I mean, I really did like Black and White, but again, the idea that we just need to keep getting back to that is weird to me. He called it the God game. This guy's got a track record for talking a lot of shit, but it doesn't mean that his next project won't be the best fucking video game I've ever played.
I've seen it all. Life's a little stranger in my neck of the woods, see? There's Big Hand, for one thing. Controlling all our towns. Building all our buildings. Making weapons for our heroes.
Hello, Big Brew.
But what really freaks folk out is when Big Hand takes possession of them and goes exploring and questing. Fact is, Hand will even slide inside the mind of our pets if we let it.
Oh, Big Hand. Is that you, Xander? All right.
But we wouldn't have it any other way. Because Big Hand is our protector, see? Because once the sun's gone down, creatures of the night rise up.
Thanks, Tank.
And come calling. We have heroes to stand and fight, of course.
It is a little From Dust, but it's a lot more Black and White. Do you remember that one, Dan? From Dust. I got a funny story. It's like one of 3 video games my wife has ever enjoyed. From Dust. In fact, I tried to get it for her on Xbox, and I like re-download From Dust for her once, and I couldn't get back into it because Ubisoft said I didn't own the game on my Xbox, even though I had bought it and played it on the Xbox previously. And I cunt punted that fucking Xbox across the front lawn. And I never played an Ubisoft game again until like 3 weeks ago when I actually downloaded Ubislop to check out. I actually downloaded and installed that shit so I could play Anno for 5 minutes, and honest to God, I thought it was pretty shit. It was such a forgettable Anno experience. I skipped 1800 and went straight to this PAX Rome one. I don't know, it was fucking... Anyway. That's my From Dust story. Black and White was great. I agree. But like the concept of the conversation we are having right now is game devs trying to go back to where it all started and recapture the magic because they have failed too many times with new IPs or with new ideas. This certainly reeks of that. But I mean, as I say, that doesn't mean that it can't be good. It just often isn't as good as we remember it or the original for a variety of different reasons. And I think it's riskier to try and recapture that magic than it is to make something new. It just doesn't seem that way. But in my experience as an onlooker over the years at so many developers who have come back with this kind of experience, it's riskier because you have to do better. And most of them don't seem to be able to. I say, the best I can remember, and this is Mega Man and everything, is the Castlevania Bloodstained, which I played and enjoyed and never thought about again. In fact, if you ask me, the best fucking thing that came out of Bloodstained was the 2 spin-offs that were part of the Kickstarter that actually, they were like OG Castlevania shit. I did some races of those and you could switch between the different characters and stuff. They actually fucked. The little 2D games, exactly, yeah. They were cool. But Ritual of the Night, which is getting a sequel, by the way, which was successful enough, and this is the best case scenario that I can think of a cunt who made a thing going and making that thing again under a slightly different name, even though it's still the same fucking thing, when they could have gone and made anything. Impossible Creatures? Yeah, it's like a mobile game or something. The Relic have decided to sell their big fucking product. Like, they're not doing Dawn of War 4 and shit, and they probably won't do a Company of Heroes 4, but they're doing little games instead, possibly to try and recuperate some losses, I think. It's not an indie game. It's on Steam. Oh, sorry, not a mobile game. It looked like one, didn't it? Okay, so it's a board game adaptation that they've done, yeah. This is the 2003 version. Is there another version? Kamiya and Sakaguchi are some other exceptions. Earth versus Mars might be what I'm thinking of, yeah. That's what I'm thinking of. Sorry, Deathminch, you're talking about something else, which is an earlier Relic game that they've done. Makes sense. Why are we talking about that? Yeah, Hideki Kamiya and Sakaguchi are some other exceptions. Makes Devil May Cry, leaves, makes Bayonetta. I'm not sure if it quite fits the bill. Like, Hideki made an action game. Also made a survival horror game in the same fucking year that went on to become the godfather of a genre, but whatever. Made an action game, sure. Left the company. Went to another company. Made another action game. Then made another action game, Wonderful 101, and another action game, Beautiful Joe, right? Is that the same as the Castlevania guy making 19 Castlevanias, leaving the company, finally, striking out on his own and making fucking Castlevania? I don't think so. Is it the same as the guy who made Blood Omen? Like this guy's fucking trailer says 30 years later has moves from Blood Omen, has Blood Omen graphics The cunt says Ve Victus.
By Victus!
This is not DMC Bayonetta, motherfucker. I'm not quite sure it's part of the same conversation. But I take your point. It's not as uncommon, and it can be much more successful. But when it is successful, it's like that. It's like, I make action games, and then I went to another company and made action games there. And do DMC and Bayonetta share DNA? Sure. Narratively, they both have cheeky, tongue-in-cheek character protagonists. And mechanically, they both have overtly, overwhelmingly complex, perhaps infinitely scalable combat systems that allow you to continue to improve the more you play without a ceiling. But like, I think that's where the similarities end. They're very different in terms of what kind of fighter they are. DMC is not a exploit dodge timing to get slow-mo combat scenario. DMC 5 is fucking awesome, actually. Absolutely. Me too. This Dread Mist game is so old school. Well said. Have you considered writing video game reviews and articles on Patreon? Yeah, there's a market for that. With that kind of eloquence. I don't know. You might have missed your calling as a grocery bagger. Trying to think of names in gaming that have varied wildly in their design. Hideo's tried a few flavors over the years, but always kept his identity in direction. True enough. Up until Death Stranding 2, where it was like, oh, I'm just going to fucking copy fucking half of the things I did in Metal Gear Solid. Ha ha ha. And as a real twist, I'll make every single thing that I copy from Metal Gear Solid a really shit version of what I already did 20 years ago. Oh, Hideo. So cheeky. What a scamp. You're welcome, Hope. I got your back. All right. I think we were going to play some video games at some point, and then we got sidetracked again with a bunch of really interesting topical conversations. I'm so glad that we did. But now I think we should start playing Soul Reaver 2, because in a few hours we're going to do another Patreon show. For those of you looking forward to writing with profanity on Patreon today, I apologize. I'm not going to be writing. I'm going to be painting again, because I'm in a painting mood, and I've got some painting projects to get going. So when this show ends, I'm going to head over to Patreon and paint. But for now, and for the next few hours, we're going to take our very first look at what those cunts at Crystal Dynamics did with our lovely Diax fucking property. Vampire property. Sink our teeth in.
Another expletive has returned. Welcome back.
It's Mad Sweeney! Welcome back, mate. This is the ringtone for your phone? You're a bit of a fanatic, aren't you? I used to print out cutscene stills from this game and draw them and shit. Oh, it's beautiful. That's good fucking gaming right there, man. Good art. It inspires. Interaction hints on, hints off, compass on. That seems right. I've learned. They've already got speech higher than the others. That's what you love to see. I think we're good. I think we're ready.
At last.
I must say I'm disappointed in your progress. I imagined you'd be here sooner.
Mobius? No, Kain.
Tell me, did it trouble you to
Oh,
murder
this
your
is the scene
brothers?
from the end of 1.
Troubled you when you ordered me into the abyss.
But CG'd.
Eternity is relentless, Raziel. When I first stole into this chamber centuries ago, I did not fathom the true power of knowledge. To know the future, Raziel. To see its paths and streams tracing out into the infinite. As a man, I could never contain such forbidden truths. But each of us is so much more than we once were. Do you not feel with all your soul how we have become like gods? As such, are we not indivisible? As long as a single one of us stands, we are legion. Our futures are predestined. Mobius foretold mine eons ago. We each play out the parts fate has written for us. Free will is an illusion.
I found the tomb of Sarafan, Kain. How could you profane a priest by turning him into a vampire?
How could I not? One must keep his friends close, Raziel, and his enemies even closer. Who better to serve me than those whose passion transcends all notions of good and evil?
The Sarafan were saviors, defending Nazgul from the corruption that we represent. My eyes are open, Kain. I find no nobility in the unlife you rudely forced on my unwilling corpse.
You may have uncovered your past, but you know nothing of it. You think the Sarafan were noble, altruistic? Oh, don't be simple. Their agenda was the same as ours. You nearly had me, Raziel. But this is not where or how it ends. Fate promises more twists before this drama unfolds completely.
Redeemer and Destroyer, Pawn and Messiah. Welcome, time-span soul. Welcome to your destiny. Where am I? Is the usual question. In your case, when might be more apt.
Oh no. I've been muted the whole time.
Very well, you old snake. If you'd prefer I use my bare hands.
Well, this is completely unexpected. This orb disables our vampire enemies, leaving them helpless and incapacitated. Strangely, it seems to have the same effect on that peculiar weapon of yours. But you must believe me. I mean you no harm.
You can drop the benevolent facade, Mobius. I know who and what you are. I should kill you where you stand.
Perhaps you should, my boy. But you don't.
Are you so certain of that, Mobius?
My role as Time Guardian affords me a certain level of omniscience, Raziel.
Raziel.
No, you don't kill me. That honor belongs to your maker, Kain, some 30 years from now.
You two are a pair. You're just as fatalistic as he is.
Death comes for us all, Raziel. It's just a matter of time.
How is it that you know my name? We have never met.
On the contrary, Raziel, I know you very well. And it grieves me to see how cruelly Kain has used you. I knew you when you were one of the Sarafan Brotherhood, Raziel. We were even close.
Oh, please.
Fortunately, you need not love me now to be my ally.
That's cool.
Are we within the stronghold of the Sarafan priesthood?
Yes, but the glorious days of the Sarafan have long since passed, I'm afraid. This is a more cynical and indecorous age. My mercenary army now inhabits this stronghold. We strive to honor the memory of the Sarafan with our own humble crusade.
Is this the vampire Vorador?
I was gonna say.
Yes, the scourge of the Circle, the most depraved and decadent example of his whole degenerate race. He slaughtered 6 of my fellow Guardians as they cowered defenseless in this room.
And you somehow survived this massacre?
I and 2 others. The Circle was devastated. Only we 3 were spared.
How convenient. You'll forgive me if I don't naively devour every scrap of information you toss me. You have a reputation for deceit.
Is that Ariel?
And who has slandered me, sir? Your malefactor, Kain? The one who betrayed and destroyed you? Our common enemy? Consider the source before you judge me too harshly. We'll forget about rekindling our old friendship then. But consider an alliance based on our common ground. We both want Kain dead. I can help you do it.
You don't want to meddle in this, old man. I know all about your sordid little schemes, but you're simply out of your depth on this one.
You underestimate me, Raziel. Let me show you. Even now, Kain is lying in wait for you, unaware that I've snatched you out of the time stream and brought you here to me. See how he lingers at the very pillars he is destined to destroy, foolishly confident that he has eluded your grasp.
The pillars are still standing in this time.
Yes, Raziel. They are the embodiment of the divine force which preserves the life of our world. We who serve the pillars maintain their delicate balance, and Kain is destined to be the fulcrum upon which that balance turns. I believe you have already endured the wasteland wrought by his terrible, selfish decision. Kain's very existence is a cancer upon this world. As long as he lives, all of Nosgoth is in peril. You may never again be human, Raziel. But you can re-embrace the essence of your humanity and the nobility of your Sarafan heritage. Go to him, Raziel, and end this. But first, you will need to find your way out of the stronghold, and in this, I'm afraid I cannot help you.
Oh, goody.
My soldiers will not understand your appearance here. They will try to kill you. You needn't fear them, of course. They're no match for you. Try to keep the casualties to a minimum. But do what you have to do. All great movements require a few martyrs.
Alone now, I surveyed my surroundings and noticed a second time-streaming chamber. Its entrance identical to the first, but with one distinction. That crystal was significant, but how? I had not yet discovered.
And so it begins, eh? Straight back into some
You're right, dickbag.
fucking... Hey, thank you, Danielle. Cheers. Cool. What like a nice, long, dense, cool-ass fucking cutscene. A complete redo of the original ending of the game in CG with new dialogue as well. Because there's at least one scene where, like, Raziel's jumping and his voice is changed because he's moving. Very cool. And then, yeah, straight into Blood Omen again, right? I didn't quite understand where Kain is now. How Mobius plucked us out of that time stream, and where is our elder god who said he wouldn't be able to stick with us if we went through here. Still got some questions. CG scene, that must have been so insane, seeing it when it first came out. Like, reliving the end. First, having Soul Reaver end so suddenly, and be like, fuck, we have to wait, what the fuck? And then having that... Oh, it must have been nice. The language, the acting, how beautiful it looks. All right, let me see if I have any of my same powers. It doesn't seem so. I can't telekinetically shoot. I can still soul suck, but I don't have Soul Reaver. I don't have Soul Reaver, and I don't have my telekinesis. What's this? That's Soul Reaver? That's something else? Oh, here we go. I have that power. And now I have Soul Reaver. And slightly different visuals on the spiral. I remember seeing an ad in PlayStation Magazine showing the polygon wireframe versions of Raz from 1 to 2 and seeing the bonkers resolution difference. That's crazy. A lot of love went into this. It's great. It's great. Given the horrible backstory that it has, it's lovely. Borodor, living deliciously. So beautiful. Oh, a map. Nice. Was this map in the original, or is this added back to the in for this version? Sarafan Stronghold. This was in the original? There's a snap back and forth button? Do you mean in between the two worlds, Trep? In between the world of the living and the world of the dead? That was in the OG? Okay, cool. So there was no map in the first game, they added it. Right, so I meant the graphical snapping? Oh! That's like, Halo did this, Halo 1 did this, it's the first time I saw of it. Alex Kidd, Miracle World's got it. But yeah, it's common. It's becoming common now to be able to switch between two versions of a video game. That's this is the room we came into. Again, it's got that lovely mechanical nature, like it's from the future. Like Mobius built this tower to do something, to play with the forces of time. It has the infinity symbol. We came in here and we're supposed to do something with this fucking gem above the door. Let me see if there's any, like, yeah. Can I check out the rest of the joint? Oh, angels, seraphim. Sarafan seraphim. Oh, hello. I heard about you. Rat? Oh, it's gonna be like that, is it? Oh, wow. Smack me. Okay, it's alright. There we go. Oh, yeah. Perfect. If you've played Soul Reaver, you know what you're doing. The apple didn't fall far from the tree. I love that. The combat gets a bit better this one? No. Well, how'd these boys look before, huh? We got up quick. Music's going off, huh? Doesn't seem as hard as the first game, that's for sure. Oh, nicked your sword, mate. Oh, they got a strong attack now as well? Doesn't seem like it's gonna make much fucking difference, but alright. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it will make a difference.
Throughout the stronghold, I discovered evidence of my former nobility and my life as a Sarafan priest. This was the heritage so foully stolen from me when Kain raided my sacred crypt and defiled me.
Check that little box up with the books in there.
Whoa!
Taste my blade, vampire!
You're too short to get it. There's no little box. Stay out of my lots of money. Thank you very much. No, it says you can have a coin. That's all you get. I'll fill you. No, you take a coin, you get 1 gold coin, that's it. Put the rest back. Little thief. You going to watch the car? Yeah, alright. Have fun. I'd love to help, I just gotta work, you know? So, yeah. No, sorry. Go for it. Right. Don't kill your mother. What do you reckon? Why? More 3D and cool? I think I agree. Look at those bum cheeks. Old bum cheeks. New bum cheeks. Boom. Boom. Look at that ass. That vampire ass. Rendered. It's not even there. He's got no ass. Nothing there. And boom. Definition in the cheeks. Which sword?
Not that, but
Where? There? It's all the same swords.
So
Like just paper on the ground, and now shading, depth, right? This is why I keep saying you gotta practice your shading. What are those zombie heads? They're the same in both versions. They didn't. Oh no, they did a texture pass.
I did a little eye.
Yeah, a little bit of an eye on one of them, and some dirt. I think they just brightened it up a little bit, really. Added a grainier texture filter to it. Arya was not killed by Vorador. She's part of the circle of guardians that came after. Okay. I remember something in the original opening cutscene or something with a girl. Can't remember. All right, you going to wash your car? Is the button not there? The butt? No butt. Boom. Boom. That's not a butt. That's a flat surface. This is this is Spider-Man. All right. This is X-Men. This is an X-Men ass. This is Nightcrawler. It's a whole nother realm of ass. That's a piece of paper. All right. You got to go wash your car. Enjoy. Love you, mate. All right, now where were we? Came through there, I think. Killed 3 bros. This door is still locked. Okay, so maybe I came through there. No, I didn't come through here. Let's have a look. Still locked. Been watching X-Men 97. It's been great. I've been watching Better Call Saul because I'm a fucking grown-up. But, you know, you do you. I don't know why I came into this room. I'm pretty sure this is just like a hallway with a blocked fucking... Just gonna go back through a little... Oh no, you're not respawning these cunts, are you? Certainly are respawning these things. That blood. Oh yeah. Delicious. Delicious. Alright, where are we? What are we doing? I'm just double checking that I can't get through here. I can't. Maybe I need to go into the other world out there? Prince, how are you, mate? It's good. It's going good. Soul Calibur 1 is finished. We're on to Soul Calibur 2. So, I couldn't be happier. I'm fucking loving it, mate. We're in Mobius's time stronghold, for Christ's sake. I keep saying, if I say Calibur, you know I mean Reaver. If you bring it up, I will decapitate you. Okay? This could be you. Think about it. Oh, they're little skulls now. Nice. Nice. Very nice. Very Victor says it. Oh, I will. I might have known. Maybe here? Maybe here. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. It certainly fucking is it. Oh, we having fun now. It's fucking Soul Calibur again.
Of Mobius's cursed staff, I could feel the strength of the Soul Reaver slowly returning. If that orb was as debilitating to vampires as it was to the blade, it gave Mobius a powerful advantage over his enemies. I finally understood how Mobius's crusade could decimate the vampires so successfully. If he could immobilize his enemies, they were at his mercy. But why, I wondered, would the staff have any effect on the Reaver?
Dude, how did you get Link and not Raziel, right? Fuck off. Fuck off, slut! I fucking pressed A like 45 fucking times. Dodge the cunt. Jesus Christ. Where's my Soul Reaver? Cunt fucking game. Cunt fuck. You're already. We're 5 minutes in. You're already fucking with my fucking shit, huh? Because we both fucking know that bar was full, don't we? Huh? We're both very aware. Nah, cunt. That fucking bar was the same level of fucking full as it is now. You dirty mutt cunt fucking game. I knew it. It was too good to be true.
To arms. Prepare.
Oh yeah? No interrupt on that. With the get hit by Soul Reaver in the fucking face. No, sorry, I was charging my attack, so Soul Reaver does. I'm immune. I'm immune to Soul Reaver when charging my attack. Good for you. Cool power. Cool ability. Can I have it? Can Kain have it? It'd certainly help his fucking day out.
As I neared the stronghold's inner sanctum, a strange sensation crept over me. An indescribable feeling of displacement, a sense of vertigo, as reality itself appeared to warp and bend around me. The disturbance seemed to emanate from the sanctuary's furthest chapel. As I cautiously approached, the sense of dislocation intensified with each step. So this was the tomb of the beloved King William the Just, beatified here as the martyr and catalyst of Mobius's crusade. I was reminded of Kain's journey as a fledgling vampire, how Mobius coerced him to travel back in history and assassinate William, thus igniting a genocidal hatred of vampires among the citizens of Nosgoth. And here I discovered the source of the displacement. The Soul Reaver itself, laid out like a holy relic, and broken, apparently in the battle between William and Kain. I had not thought such a thing was possible.
Bit of a retcon.
Until, of course, Kain shattered the blade against me when he tried to strike me down.
Right.
Thus, the captive spirit inhabiting the Reaver was released, and binding itself to me became my symbiotic weapon. And so the Reaver met its former self, still imprisoned in this corporeal shell. I watched, mesmerized, as the Wraith blade uncoiled itself and snaked down the length of the physical blade. Embracing its twin, its mirror self, the Reaver's long dormant spirit was now fully aroused. And for the first time, I felt the true presence of this other entity. Willful, ravenous, and deranged from thousands of years of imprisonment. The Reaver was now in command, and I, now merely its helpless
Now it's gonna
host,
suck your health out whenever you use
my
it.
soul being leached to restore the...
No, Razia, what have you done? We had a good thing
The
going.
Reaver knew better than to destroy its host, and just as I neared the brink of oblivion, the blade released its hold on me. As I recovered, I realized we were now bound together in a fragile alliance. The Reaver no longer merely my symbiotic weapon, but a sentient parasite competing for control.
What have you done to me, Mobius? Is this your trap?
How mine? Don't forget it was Kain who led you here, not I. While you curse me, the only soul in Nosgoth ready to guide and assist you, Kain laughs at our folly and revels in your dismay.
These blades, now coiled in sinister embrace, have inspired terror in the hearts of creatures far more durable than you, old man. Bound together as they are, I can only imagine what they could do to your soul's fragile shell.
Raziel, I beg you to stay your hand. This was none of my doing. I have sought only to aid you in your righteous quest.
Why, you're trembling, Mobius. Has your confidence abandoned you? You seem to have made a fatal error by leaving your precious staff behind. Is that where all your courage comes from?
Listen to me, Raziel. You don't know what you're doing. I have taken an enormous risk by appearing here before you, so defenseless, yet eager to prove my good intentions. If there's anything left of the Seraphim in you, you won't do this. While you threaten me, your true enemy eludes you.
Don't concern yourself with Kain, old man. He'll join you in hell soon enough. As you said, death comes for us all.
Yes, the wheel of fate demands it.
What did you say?
The wheel of fate. The inexorable cycle of death and rebirth to which all men are compelled. We serve the same God, Raziel. To strike me down would be striking God's own attendant. And I don't believe even you would take that risk.
I tire of your games, Mobius. Now that I know you fear me, I needn't concern myself with you. Kain is waiting for me.
Go then, Raziel. Seek Kain out and destroy him. In the name of the one God we both serve.
The Elder God?
You, who were once a Seraphim priest, murdered, profaned, destroyed, and reborn again from his mercy. You are now most powerfully equipped to be his agent. His instrument of restoration and retribution.
My own vengeance is motivation enough.
This...
By my soul, you almost had me, my little blue assassin. But that'll be the one and only chance you get. I assure you of that.
I could now summon the blade at will, regardless of my strength. But once summoned, the blade's ravenous appetite could not be contained. It devoured the souls of its victims, and if I allowed it to become over-aroused, the Reaver would now turn its hunger on me.
That's an interesting new mechanic for it. Curious. The old Elder God, yeah, he's starting to make me think along the same path that I was thinking at the beginning of Blood Omen with the Necromancer who then ended up being either A demon in disguise, or B, controlled by a demon, and I was never sure which. Now I get this same vibe from the Elder God of, I set this path in motion. Mobius is my tool. Yeah, our health's gone down from like what it could have been in Soul Reaver 1 if you collected every bit. Is this more or less what happened at the beginning of the first one? The first Soul Reaver, No, it's not. You didn't get the Soul Reaver until quite a bit later into Soul Reaver. Or do you mean in Blood Omen? Can I ask what you meant by record? Oh, sorry, I don't remember the Soul Reaver being broken in a fight with King William. Am I just forgetting?
So this was the legendary Janos Ordrin, reputed to have been the most ancient and diabolical.
We found his tomb at the beginning of Blood Omen, right? Was that him?
According to folklore, he lived high in the cliffs of Nosgoth's northern mountains and preyed mercilessly on the defenseless villages below. His reign of terror ended when the Sarafan finally hunted him down and tore his throbbing heart from his still-living body. This relic came to be known as the Heart of Darkness.
Which is how you heal.
It was supposedly imbued with the power to restore vampiric unlife. The Sarafan therefore guarded it carefully, lest the heart fall into the hands of their enemies. But I wondered, could Janos Ordrin truly have been as monstrous as depicted here? Or was this merely artistic license by the Sarafan, who sought to lionize themselves by demonizing their darkest enemy?
This little duality that Raziel is facing now is really, really quite beautifully put together. So that was William's Soul Reaver. We never saw it be broken, but both Kain and William were armed with the Soul Reaver. Because we went back in time with a Soul Reaver. That makes sense. There's the heart up there. So we never saw William's Soul Reaver be broken, but we learn now that it was broken, is what you're saying, right? So not a retcon, but a revealing of new information. New information that very clearly was not written by the person who wrote that story when they wrote that story. Which I think is the definition of a retcon, is it not? There's no scenes in the others yet. Interesting. Maybe we can place things there to get some scenes to appear. That could be cool. Kain got his presents. Got the Soul Reaver in the present, and then William got his given to by Mo. Exactly. Yeah, that makes sense. I just don't remember it being broken in that fight. That's all. The real meat of the series, yeah, Zedra. Interesting. You picked up the Soul Reaver in Kain's time at the Avernus Cathedral, then went back in time to face William. Yeah, that makes sense. I forgot that detail. I just don't remember it being broken. But are you guys all okay with it being broken in that fight, but only learning about that fact now?
There's one.
Make a human jump into the air by using your feet in combat. Nice. I don't have the Soul Reaver. Oh, I get it. You now summon the Soul Reaver, I think. But it drains your health, perhaps, when you do it. It was broken back then. They stated it was broken in the fight in the original. Did they? Well, that's okay then. I just don't remember it. Fair enough. Double tap B for summon, unsummon. Thank you. Don't remember it either. But that's all right then. I was just, and again, I don't mind retcons. I was just pointing out that it felt like one.
Strange.
But really, it was just my
came full circle.
lack of information.
This chapel, I realized, was a memorial to my former Sarafan brethren and myself. All of us martyred here. And then so cruelly profaned by Kain when he imposed his gift on our noble corpses. For the first time, I beheld the image of my Sarafan self, memorialized here among my fallen comrades. It tortured me to see how noble and pure I had been, and what a vile phantasm I had become. And a profound sense of injury, of loss and betrayal welled up in me, so overwhelming I could barely contain it. All I wanted at this moment was to find Kain and destroy him.
I love it. I don't know who Kain was before he became a vampire, but he doesn't seem to have ever given much of a fuck. He very quickly got into terrorizing, destroying, vengeance. He was set on the path and he went with it. Raziel may have too, when he was turned, not knowing who he was, but now learning who he was and then seeing who he was. Kain was some pompous little nobleman. Yeah, he seems to have been fairly happy with his transition. Raziel, not so. A bit of revenge. Exactly. Dumas? Oh, yeah. Malkaya, I think it was the first boss that we fought. Gave us the ability to move through walls. Rahab. Believe he was the aquatic one. Yeah, you can see the seahorses and the trident. Gives very aquatic vibes. Gives us the ability to swim in water. Turel. I don't remember him. Maybe he was the big beastie that like had become part of the fucking architecture. Oh no, He's the only one we never fought. Interesting. He was missing. Nice. Zephon. He was the one that was part of the architecture, right? He had become a part of the wall. The whole arena, really. So sick. So sick. And looked just as good back then as well. Nothing has changed. You guys had the full experience back then too. The same experience I'm having. You had in 2001, you know? Unreal. I fucking love it. So powerful. How cool. Fairly decent for a PS2 title. I mean, it looks alright, but Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 came out on this console as well. but I think it looks great. The whole section of the world where you go to Tyrell's clan territory, you fight him in an arena, they had his model render, you can actually watch that scene, but it was cut. Alright. Back here. I'm not sure if there's anything I was supposed to do in that room. I'll go back to it later if I have to, but it looked more like something for later to me. If there's a button to drop weapons, I just can't figure it out by pressing every button on the controller. It's crouch plus attack. Just wanted to see how that works. Works pretty good. All things considered. Certainly a different combat system than the first game. Feels so good not to lose it in one hit. Substantial upgrade for all risk. And that risk is a sacrifice of HP, right? Doesn't seem so risky to me. I'm back out here. Not sure I want to be back out here. They took the criticism to heart about losing Soul Reaver if you got tapped once. I like the idea of it. I do. I think it must have been an interesting thing to play with, but during testing, they really should have realized it just makes you not want to fight any enemy after they tap you. And given that you don't get anything for fighting enemies, it just encourages you to walk into a room, get hit, and then run, you know? Which is not a really good gameplay loop. Maybe they didn't play it enough, or maybe they only tested it internally where they weren't getting hit very often and didn't really play it as though it may have been played by normal people. Maybe you're supposed to always carry a spear and then drop it for the Reaver for tough enemies. You don't introduce that style in that way though. There are other ways to do that, like this one, where you pull it out when you really need it, as opposed to you always have it until you get hit. Every single room you walk into, at the second you walk into it, is the easiest it's going to be. Any mistakes from that point, the difficulty ramps up by an exponential degree and continues to, until it's so much of a chore that you start questioning, why would I do it? Should I not just run? And that's the answer. Yeah, you should. Problematic. I just don't see how it got tested and then launched in that state. Apparently I fucking am, Venno, yeah. This year, going into early access. 6-player co-op persistent world. Let's fucking go. I'm ready.
Over there.
Makes you not want to engage in the combat, yeah. It's not a big deal. It's just, I feel like there's a fundamental flaw in the way it was set up that wasn't resolved during testing. But not knowing the sordid history that Soul Reaver 1 had, it makes sense. I just didn't see this. But what about leveling up? Apparently they decided we're not having that. I don't know why, but honest to God, compared to the modern day, every fucking game, you open up the fucking menu and there's a fucking series of there's 3 sections, right? And each section has 2 skills in it. And if you pick one of those skills, the next one unlocks and everything's always a square, like... Give me this. Any fucking day over the regurgitated, samey, familiar nightmare that is the modern day skill system. That only exists because every fuckwit punter out there that buys a new fucking video game expects same controller, same controls, same skills, as much familiarity as possible.
I emerged, and for the first time beheld Nosgoth in its former glory. The land overflowed with abundant life and vitality.
That's why.
And I knew with certainty then that the world I had left behind was nothing more than the corpse of Nosgoth, a lifeless husk bled dry by the corruption of Kain's parasitic empire. This was the fragile world Kain sacrificed to preserve his own petty life and ambition, heedless of the profound cost. The sight only deepened my resolve. I sensed that the pillars lay to the northwest. If Kain truly waited to confront me there, I would not disappoint him.
So Kain's gone back in time to the point where he made the decision that we were given at the end of Blood Omen 1, which was to destroy the world and take control of it. And he's gone back to that point to remake that decision, but not really. He's gone back to it to get us to come to it. There's a thick time-bending narrative drama at play here. Bootstrap time travel shit going on in every fucking direction. Much like the original Soul Calibur. It's quite spectacular. The original Blood Omen, sorry. It's quite spectacular. Don't forget a map absolutely cluttered with hundreds of icons. In Soul Reaver 1? Because that map wasn't originally in there, I think. I think they added that for the remake, didn't they? Oh, sorry, modern games. Yeah, I was going to say. Oh. It just, once you understand how normal people feel when they come up against the familiar. You know, they go, oh, this has the same controls as the last 6 games I played. Fantastic, I don't have to learn new controls. Oh, this has a map that tells me exactly where to go. I'm in Mordor. That cunt up there, Sauron. Over there, orcs. Up here, my fucking GPS. My fucking GPS, my what? They don't give a shit. The punters don't give a fuck. The GPS is helpful. It's a useful tool. It allows me to see where I'm going and get there quickly without any abrasion, without any rough edges. A skill tree where you put a point in and unlocks the next one. Very simple. In fact, so simple I've seen it 500 times before. I like that. I want that. Give me more of that. Continue to always give me easy, familiar things. Vessels with which to tell the story. As opposed to video games. I'll take this any day of the fucking week. So yeah, serve the same chicken nugget to me. But that's the thing. Much like games like this were designed to be, they're supposed to just be mechanisms to deliver the narrative, which I find so ironic. Because with Soul Reaver 1, it's the first time in a long time I've played a video game and thought, fuck, if it wasn't for the story, I wouldn't play this. Which should never be the case, right? Video games are not a device with which to deliver a narrative. They're games, systems to be played, learned, overcome. The fact that they added narrative to them and said, hey, these can also deliver, they can also be a medium for storytelling is, you know, profound. But that's not what they are. You can't claim something as a game and then say, oh no, it's actually just words on a page. The results of that is, you know, Death Stranding 2, where it becomes very clear at that point. This is supposed to be a film first, and a game second. Calling it a game is... It's almost a misnomer. And so you finished Soul Reaver 1, what did you think of it as a whole? I was just discussing that more or less, but basically it was a shitty video game with a really cool story. And given the crazy history that it had. Basically being a story stolen from somebody else and then repurposed into something new. It's quite the achievement. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I did forget that. Thank you. I imagine the reason why I forgot it is because at no point were you reminded of it. And if you were to have bought this game and not played the first one, there's just absolutely no way, outside randomly pressing every combination of button on the controller, that you would ever figure it out.
As I passed this arcane landmark, a wisp of the Reaver's energy was drawn into the ring, illuminating it. This created a beacon of sorts in the spirit world. If ever I found myself depleted in the spectral realm, and my soul tossed on the ethereal winds, these beacons would draw me back to safety and restore me.
Okay. I'm glad you deduced all of that by looking at a beacon. Tell that's a Naughty Dog. Do you think Naughty Dog, do you think The Last of Us is a movie first and a game second? It's an interesting point of view. Because what I'm saying is it should be a video game, right? And then it should have a really good story attached to it, and that's what makes it rise to the best, not the opposite. Like, throw in some mechanics, but really we're just like God of War, the new God of Wars versus the old God of Wars. New God of War, strip out everything that makes it a game. No platforming, no puzzles, no exploration, because you've got a list of things to find on a map. You just well, less exploration, more don't forget the Wheat Bix when you're at the supermarket, right? Don't forget your cornflakes. And then the combat is really the only gameplay mechanic that is left. And it's really just there as a way to tell the story and have something else attached to it. I mean, hell, they're making a fucking TV series out of the story now, stripping the gameplay out of it completely. Whereas The Last of Us, it's quite the opposite. It's a video game first. The story comes later. And you can tell that because if you put it on grounded difficulty, it's a very different game. Much like Metal Gear Solid, and why Death Stranding irritates me so much now. Because Metal Gear Solid was always a video game with a story attached to it. Now, look, the reason why Metal Gear Solid became as popular as it did, for a lot of people, why it captured the cultural zeitgeist of the day, why it hit the news and the media and Hideo was so crazy, it's all because of the story and the characters. I agree. But that's not why anybody bought it. It's not why anybody played it. It's not why everybody kept playing it. To allow it to rise to that point where it then captured... It could have gone forgotten in the corner like a billion other fucking pieces of work that people do without rising up. But it was because it was a good video game that it rose up. It's because everybody who played it wanted to play it again and again. Wanted to talk about it over and over again. That's what made it great. And it was gameplay that did that, not story. Story came later. Story captured the hearts and minds of people later. Captured the hearts and minds of people who played it as well, but again, they didn't buy it for the story. Nobody bought Metal Gear Solid because they thought it was a daring tale of two twins that were cloned off a super soldier from, a fucking NES game, You bought it because it was a stealth, tactical action game. I don't know how many people bought God of War 2018 because it was an action game. They bought it because it was a story. The Last of Us? Naughty Dog? You could play that shit on very easy, then play through on grounded. Much like Metal Gear Solid, you'll find that there are two different video games, not some quick scaled piece of shit. So I don't know. I don't think Naughty Dog's a good example. I think Naughty Dog's a good example of what I'm saying. You build the banging fucking video game first, then you put the banging fucking story on it, and all of a sudden you've created something that will stand the test of time. And I would put The Last of Us up there with Metal Gear Solid as a perfect example of a video game that gets it by doing both. This, well, Soul Reaver 1, quite the opposite. Now at the time, I don't know. Maybe it was, and it just hasn't aged well. Maybe that's... I'd much sooner put Blood Omen up there as a game that had a great story. So much so that this one can't stop fucking referencing it for 5 seconds. But also, it was a fucking awesome fucking video game where you become a vampire and get a new ability every 5 minutes that lets you change the way you play the game. It constantly challenges you with puzzles that allow you to think differently and approach things differently. But don't lock you into a goddamn fucking room with a fucking bunch of fucking waterfalls and make you so fucking insanely fucking confused that you don't ever know where to go. Which is basically the only thing Soul Reaver has done since I started playing it. And this is no fucking exception. Jamalki, what's going on, cunt? How you fucking doing, mate? Yeah, no, it's going good. It's going good. This game is fucking insane already. The story is so fucking cool, man. But it's still just more of the same shit. We've had a wonderful morning of discussions about that spiritual successor that's coming from the guy who created Blood Omen and then had Soul Reaver stolen from him. Well, dude, Soul Reaver 1 ends like mid-cutscene. And this fucking picks it up immediately where it left off, so... But on a new console, PlayStation 2. So it's, quite delicious. How the fuck is Dead Mist going? I'm very keen. With Mobius, that's right. That's right, Mobius and Kain, the main character of Blood Omen 1. Now we're back in the original Nosgoth from Blood Omen 1, not the fucked up, molested Kain took over bad ending of Blood Omen 1 world, which Raziel was born to. And Raziel's finally seeing Nosgoth as it was for the first time. Now having realized, now having discovered that Raziel was actually one of the Seraphim, one of the vampire hunters. And that Kain created his vampire lieutenant from the corpses of the very vampire hunters that had killed so much of his kin. And Raziel's having this wonderful conflict now of like, who I am now versus who was I? Seeing statues of himself back when he was a Seraphim. What was wrong with you? Dear God. Was the gamble to end Soul Reaver in a to be continued? I don't think they had a choice. I think they were so under the gun, they had to get something out.
I did not yet possess the means to unlock this barrier, but this enigmatic symbol was clearly the key.
Goody, goody. Alright, where the fuck am I and what the fuck am I doing? That's the only things that ever come to my mind when I'm playing a Soul Reaver game. Where the fuck am I and what the fuck am I doing? So I moved a cog. Did anyone see what happened when I moved that cog? Because I was ranting and I missed it. Opened an underwater door. Clearly not this underwater door. That'd be too easy. The one that ends at the end of the path. I fucking swear I checked that, alright? The first thing I fucking checked. It's just playing with me. It's messing with me. With this fucking draw distance shit. No, I checked the part left of it as well. It's just the draw distance hadn't shown that it was there. It happened in the first game too. The couple of times I got caught up because the draw distance fucking fucked me. The distraction of chatter comes for us all. It's not as bad with some games as it is with other games, let me tell you. This series just happens to be one of the ones where it's very difficult.
These ancient obelisks were mysteriously attuned to my spiritual essence.
Looks like Soul Reaver.
By simply touching the symbol, I could safely preserve an imprint of my soul, and thus create a milestone to which I could return when weary, and from which I could resume my journey.
Checkpoints? I thought the last thing that we found, that the fucking street lamps were checkpoints. Okay, maybe it's checkpoint and save game? Unfortunately, no more saving anywhere Oh, that's good, actually. Because of that, I fucking... Because the combination of the teleport system and the save anywhere, they actually have proper reflections back then? Wow, they were flexing hard with that shit. I forgot to save the other day and had to do a whole fucking day's worth of shit again because of that. This is much better. Oh yeah, they did. Woo! Dude, Hogwarts Legacy doesn't have reflections like this. It has fake reflections, and you stand there looking in the mirror, and it takes you a second to realize that it's not reversed. This, however, although it doesn't have the line in the middle on the new one. Isn't that funny? The old one has the correct reflection. The new one, it's missing the center. I wonder if it was just too difficult or something, or if they forgot. Or is this just old video game design versus new video game design? Back when we gave a fuck. Back when, and then modern day, nobody's looking. Is anyone even going to play our remasters? They just want the steelbook and the nostalgia. A mate of mine and I played on the mini Sega once. We played Mortal Kombat. All night. We'd play over and over again Mortal Kombat 1. And every time we got to Goro, the game would fucking crash. You'd get a little bit further into the Goro fight sometimes. Just turns out that it was fucked. And they never cared enough to check if it was working. And on the online, only one other person seems to have ever noticed and mentioned that it doesn't work. Because let's face it, everybody who bought a mini Sega didn't buy it to play it. They bought it to put it on a fucking shelf. Same energy for me. Same fucking energy. Alright, so we found a safe point. Once I start whinging, I can't stop. That's the problem. The second Raziel, you can see disappearing as you get more into the save platform. It just blips out. What the fuck is this? Attaboy. Attaboy. How good does that look? Stronghold of the Seraphim. Are these fucking little urn things going to become my new blue sparkly orbs? They're just dotting every fucking landscape and they're totally fucking useless. Fuck off. Fucking Killer Instinct as fuck sound effects. I love it.
Well now.
Go underwater? No.
He is an old one. Almost as old as me.
I forgot about being able to walk on the bottom. KizK for 137. Holy shit! Twitch dropped your sub? I missed the email? Oh no, your streak's gone. Well, this is what you fucking get, isn't it? For not coming and watching my fucking show. Alright? Little mister, I'm just gonna fucking be subbed for an infinite amount of time. But never actually rock up. Huh? You deserve to lose your streak, alright? This is just your fucking punishment. How dare you show your face here? Everything's good, mate. I hope you're well. I hope you're staying busy. Much appreciated. I've got a Patreon now for those of you who have been subbed here forever, but might perhaps prefer to pay on a different platform for something that you actually get some benefit from. Like you can catch up on my thoughts on games and stuff without having to watch me play them. And get access to some VOD collections and stuff that are a bit neater, a bit tighter. Just for you old dogs, maybe that'll be more useful to you. A way to support without giving. Oh yeah, and without giving Bezos any cash. Yeah, that's another way. That's another idea too. There's alternatives now. For the first time ever, I have a way to generate revenue that isn't tied to this particular sinking fucking ship. And seeing as you lost your streak now anyway, I mean, you know, what's the point? I understand. Hey, look, you want to keep the number going bigger, you go for it. That's fine too. I get paid either way. Just looking at ways to try and give more of the cunts that, support but don't really get any value out of what they're paying for, you know what I mean?
While I had only just escaped the stronghold, I sensed that in time my journey would return me full circle to this place. Infiltrating the fortress, however, would be no small feat. The balcony that had provided my escape was now well beyond my reach, leaving this massive gateway as the only means of entry.
With an anti-vampire orb.
The gates were sealed, but like the time-streaming chamber I had seen earlier, their operation was undoubtedly linked to that odd crystal mounted above the entrance.
I get the spirit of it, but I should mention that Jeff left Amazon. Right, so when people say I don't want to give Bezos a dime, you associate that with I don't want to be on a platform that is run by Bezos, as opposed to I don't want to give Bezos a dime. It's very odd, Tough. The way your brain works, just generally speaking, is flawed. And I think this is a very good example that you could use moving forward. To better understand why. They say they don't want to give Bezos money. What are you of the impression that he doesn't make any money off this fucking shit anymore? Because that's the only way in which... Whoa, you got a fucking blunderbuss. The only way in which your sentence would have some relevance, right? Palarin's here? And I thought Hope was dumb. I think they're actually the same. I think How Tough Am I is a Hope Smurf account. Can you fucking hit this fucking cunt? What? Why is Soul Reaver a fucking dagger now? What the fuck? I don't Smurf anymore. Smurfing's for losers. I watch X-Men cartoons. Like a real sick cunt. I need about 3 more inches on my fingers to achieve that level of reach. Glad to have other venues. Yeah, man. I want to make sure that cunts don't... I feel like a big portion of my revenue these days is reliant on people that are happy to pay for my shit but don't really get to enjoy it. I just don't think it's a sound business strategy moving forward, you know, to rely on that. Eventually, you old dogs will realize that you're not getting much for your money. Times will get tough. And one of the things that you cut when you're doing your budgeting will be me. And why wouldn't it be? You're not fucking watching the show very often anymore. I'm hoping I can, yeah, move some of that over to something that maybe you do. Maybe you get a message on your phone. Oh look, an article, an audiobook. 10 minutes while I'm taking a shit, while I'm at a break at work, and I get you know, the whole of a week or two, or a month or two of this show. You know, so we'll see. Any more is crazy. To see a glimpse into Hope's past. What you doing, Palaran? How you doing, mate? Are you playing this fucking Dread Mist as well with every cunt, or what? Bro's pop me is a bit weird. Dread Mist, man. Is it banging? Is Jamolki fucking on it again, or is he fucking losing his mind? What's happening? I've got an account. I've downloaded the game. Am I getting in? Get your ass over here. Yeah, alright. I've got to finish my current Path of Exile 2 run. I got a druid in Act 3. When he's dead, I'm gonna try some Dread Mist, alright? Gonna come and play with the boys. You'll have to boost me up a bit. Show me the ropes. Feels oddly good, like old school feel. The combat's like tight, like WoW Classic. Good. Because I was almost about to start playing WoW again this week. Luckily, Jem fixed that by informing me that there is actually no Burning Crusade Hardcore in WoW. I thought they were finally launching that. They're not. They're just doing Burning Crusade not hardcore again. And then the community's doing their own hardcore version of it, is what I've been able to gather. So I was misinformed. Ill-advised. Jamolki set me straight. Fuck WoW. I'm playing Dread Mist. Also a little bit of No Rest for the Wicked, I think. The co-op launch for that is this week as well. I want to check that out. Get fucked. Checkpoint? I think it's a checkpoint. There's checkpoints and save points now, apparently. Are you just jumping on me? My goodness. I think I'm at the pillars. I think I've made it to the pillars of Nosgoth, though. Whoa. Let's breed me some axe hounds. Gem and Sequisha and probably other cunts all rolling out together. Yeah. There's a Geshten guild going on, eh? Looking pretty sexy. No Rest for the Wicked. I remember getting that a while ago. Heard a bit of nonsense on the whims. Yeah, it's trying to be the next generation of ARPG, and Thomas Mahler, or the lead dev, is making a big hubbub about that, which is going to attract certain types like myself, and to detract certain other types. But I played it when it first went to early access and thought, yeah, this is sick. I'll come back later. And now they're doing some kind of...
These vampires had nothing in common with the deranged jackals I left behind in Kain's derelict empire. They seem to retain much of their former humanity. In this era, vampires were clearly not the uncontested predators we had been. These creatures were hunted mercilessly and oppressed.
Nice.
And while I still believed that vampirism was a plague and had to be wiped out, there was nothing noble or righteous in this crusade. This was simply ruthless persecution.
Ah, Mobius was right, maybe. The Seraphim weren't all... Oh, sorry, Kain was right. The Seraphim weren't all noble and and righteous. I played a little bit, enjoyed. Yeah. Well, the co-op patch for it, which is supposed to be this week, is maybe today. They've got a kind of like a persistent world server thing happening. And then your friends can drop in and out of your game, go off and do their own things, come and join you for a boss fight, have their own houses and shit, apparently. So it's going for that kind of V-Rising-y vibe, as opposed to the Diablo Path of Exile. You're all in the same world, and you get to see each other in town for 2 seconds, but you don't know anybody, and you never will. Faux MMO vibe. So I at least want to check that shit out. Could be fun. And I got a mate Fizzy who wants to check it out too, so maybe we do that. Maybe we do that tomorrow night if it's out. I played for about 2 hours, found it pretty easy. The hardest part was the camera, 99% of the time. Taking a leaf from FromSoft. Classic action game, right? FromSoft's just Devil May Cry in a new package, isn't it? Have you played V-Rising? Yeah. Made you think of Blood Omen? I hadn't played Blood Omen when I played V-Rising, but I certainly will think of it next time. I quite like V-Rising as sort of a race to the finish with a bunch of other people. The times I've played it has been very fun. But the shine wears off the apple almost instantly. Only if I was trying to speedrun it or something do I think I'd get some real value out of it. Survival game where the survival shit's minimal and it's all about the combat. Yeah, exactly.
The pillars of Nosgoth. Pristine, whole, and uncorrupted.
Gorgeous.
I had never beheld them in this undefiled state, yet something profound and indelible resonated within me at the sight. And there, waiting at the very heart of the pillars, was the canker that was destined to destroy them.
I know you're there, Raziel.
Mobius led me to you, Kain, though I might have guessed you'd meet me here.
And if Mobius told you I was hidden on the underside of hell, would you throw yourself into oblivion to pursue me? Mobius trolls for the ignorant and unwary, hauling his gasping prey from the streams of their destinies. Stay out of his net, Raziel.
Spare me your elaborate metaphors, Kain. I have pursued you here for one purpose. You will pay for your betrayal, and balance will thus be restored to Nosgoth.
And whose will is satisfied then? The will of Raziel or Mobius?
Would I be better manipulated by you, Kain? Now, turn and face me. The chase is over.
This isn't a chase, Raziel. We are merely passengers on the wheel of destiny, describing a perfect circle to this point. We've been brought here for a reason. I've seen the beginning and the end of our story, however, and the tale is crude and ill-conceived. We must rewrite the ending of it. You and I.
Face me, Kain. Even you shouldn't die a coward's death.
Isn't it customary to grant the condemned a final request?
I recall no such courtesy from you.
Indulge me, Raziel. All I ask is that you listen. This is the sublime moment of our undoing, Raziel. The ineffable fulcrum upon which swings the entirety of our history. This is where all of Nosgoth is betrayed. In this instant, Ariel, the Balance Guardian, is murdered by dark forces bent on overthrowing the Pillars. Her spirit is just now tearing free, lost in the ether, trying to find its way here. You have already seen how she comes to haunt these Pillars.
Bound here by your refusal to die. You are the reason this land becomes diseased. As long as you remain alive, you condemn Nosgoth to an eternity of decay.
Be still, Raziel. See this. As Ariel dies, I am being born to take her place as Balance Guardian. Such is my destiny.
My God.
At the moment of my first cry, Ariel's beloved, the Guardian Nupraptor, finds her corpse. Racked with grief and tormented by suspicions of treachery, Nupraptor plunges into a madness which overflows and infects all of the Guardians who are symbiotically bound, including me. The repercussions of Ariel's assassination were expertly calculated. The entire circle descends into madness, and I am tainted at the moment of my birth, instantly rendered incapable of fulfilling the role destiny has prepared for me.
Shall I show you the same mercy you showed the rest of the circle, then? You blithely murdered them to restore their pillars, yet your hand faltered when it came to the final sacrifice. What makes you exempt, Kain? You're merely the last man standing. Why condemn me for simply carrying out what you hadn't the courage to do yourself?
Let's drop the moral posturing, shall we? We both know there's no altruism in this pursuit. Your reckless indignation led you here. I counted on it. There's no shame in it, Raziel. Revenge is motivation enough. At least it's honest. Hate me, but do it honestly. 30 years hence, I am presented with a dilemma. Let's call it a two-sided coin. If the coin falls one way, I sacrifice myself and thus restore the pillars. But as the last surviving vampire in Nosgoth, this would mean the annihilation of our species. Mobius made sure of that. If the coin lands on the reverse, I refuse the sacrifice and thus doom the pillars to an eternity of collapse. Either way, the game is rigged.
We agree, then, that the pillars are crucial and must be restored.
Yes, Raziel. And that's why we've come full circle to this place.
So after all this, you make my case for me. To end this stalemate, you must die so that new Guardians can be born.
Pillars don't belong to them, Raziel. They belong to us.
Your arrogance is boundless, Kain.
There's a third option. A monumental secret, hidden in your very presence here. But it's a secret you have to discover for yourself. Unearth your destiny, Raziel. It's all laid out for you here.
You said it yourself, Kain. There are only two sides to your coin.
Apparently so. But suppose you throw a coin enough times. Suppose one day it lands on its edge.
What a great line. What a great end of Act 1. Beautiful setup for the story to come. A retelling of the original Blood Omen, but this time from the perspective of the Edge. Could very well shed light on the ending of Blood Omen as well. And in so doing, the entire reason for the narrative of Blood Omen to have occurred, the entire reason for Kain to have been turned, and this hidden demons, ulterior motives, and reasons for setting this entire sordid history on the path. It's gorgeous. I really like it. I like how much of this is Blood Omen again. It keeps wrapping around itself. Very cool. Insanely good voice acting from both Raz and Kain too, right? Oh, let's drop the moral posturing. It's so well delivered. Yeah, beautiful. That line has stuck with me my entire fucking life. From the edge, I can see why. Did Kain just use a dimension door? Quick, he's still in the area and you can take him down. Honestly though, the number of boss characters who just have an instant teleport ability after dialogue is kind of ridiculous. Yeah, the fact that Kain doesn't have any reaction to it, given that he came all this way to kill Kain and Kain just teleported, is a bit rough. But honestly, I was too distracted by not only the brilliance of the scene that just played out, but the implications of it, both past and future. Your reckless indignation brought you here. Revenge isn't such a bad cause. Him, referring to himself and his entire original journey. Hate me, but do it honestly. Ah, so good. Old Splatterhand. I don't know if you're still there on YouTube, but if you are, let me know. Broly, how you going, mate? We are continuing with Legacy of Kain. Glad to be able to catch a show. Hope all is well. Yeah, I'm good. I hope you're good. I'm going to grab a cup of coffee. So, I'll be back. No, not that one. That one. I'll be back in just a minute. Let me find some music for you. We're listening to Terranigma remixes last night, which are really cool. What else have we got? Secret of Mana? Yeah. I'm going through this massive OC remix collection that I got recently and haven't had a chance to actually listen to, so this is lovely. I hope you guys are enjoying a return to Nosgoth. Now 30 years before the end of Blood Omen 1, so I'm thinking the beginning of Blood Omen 1. Ariel's just been murdered and her soul is making its way to the pillars to become the Guardian of Balance. Nupraptor has just found Ariel's corpse, the corpse of his beloved. It sent him mad, and in so doing has infected all of the other Guardians of the pillars with that same madness, apparently. I wasn't aware of that fact first time around. Is that a retcon, or did I just forget? So many things to discuss and to uncover. I'm having a blast. I'll be back in a minute. We'll keep playing some more Soul Reaver 2. Cheers, Anubis. Sleep well, mate. I'll catch you soon. That bloody little car wash crew out there went and got McDonald's. So there's chicken nuggets sitting on the counter, you know, and I'm what am I if not a man, a simple man who sees chicken nuggets and must eat them. So I apologize profusely. Cheeky buggers, right? They wash the car, they think they can do anything. Bloody hell. Maybe I'm missing something, but I thought that Kain was implying that Nupraptor had him killed. Him being Kain. I didn't pick up on that, if that's the case. What's this motherfucker on about? Monster Hunter store. Cool. Kain said that he was literally just being born when Ariel died. Literally just being born. Okay, not by Nupraptor, by the Necromancer. What was his name again? I always forget his fucking name. Mortanius? That sounds right. So Mortanius was having Kain killed and resurrected as an undead vampire while
yes.
Ariel was...
The smell of proper devotion. Welcome back, old friend. We've missed you.
Tank, thanks for 31 months. What's going on, dude? How are you? Oh, Kain being born, not reborn. Being born. Oh, okay. An actual baby from first cry. Okay, I didn't catch on to that. That's cute. As in, when Ariel was killed, a baby was born to replace her. That's what he was talking about with he was supposed to be the replacement. But Nupraptor's madness taints baby Kain. Okay. That's a bit wild. So baby Kain grew up to be noble Kain? Grew up to walk to that town and go into that fucking pub? Get denied a drink? Go outside and get murdered? And all this time, for 30 years or something, he is tainted by the same madness that afflicts all of the guardians of the pillars? Is that what you're saying? Because again, hardcore retcon. None of this was revealed in the original story, and nothing appears to have been... Like, no breadcrumbs seem to have been laid down for it. Nupraptor's madness corrupting everybody? That feels insanely retcon to me. I don't know what these crows were tripping me out before. Nupraptor was a mentalist, i.e. psychic. Okay, that plays a little harder. I like that. Yep. I dig that. I still don't, right now anyway, I still don't currently buy the whole Kain was inflicted with this madness as a baby because he was destined to be Ariel's replacement and was born as she died. And lived his entire life mad up until the point where he was turned into a vampire. Now, it does answer the question, why was he turned into a vampire? Why him specifically? Because he was the guardian of balance, and someone wanted him, the guardian of balance, turned into a vampire. That makes sense. Circle members are symbiotically bound together is what Kain said. As justification, I don't like it. It's cheap, and it's nasty. Nupraptor is in control of the pillar of the mind, of the psychic, and because of that, is connected to all of them. I like. That seems to work for me better. But they're all bound together, so Nupraptor goes mad, they all go mad. That seems like a proper reach to me. Did you not feel that way? Moreover, did you at any point during the original Blood Omen get that impression? Because I didn't.
I didn't know what impulse stayed my hand, why I had so willingly allowed Kain to escape me when I had pursued him for so long. I had no reason to trust Kain after he had valued me so little, and yet I found myself intrigued by his words.
So did we.
I had been too cruelly used to so gullibly play his pawn, but if this world truly had secrets to divulge, I was determined to expose them.
Blood Omen did describe Nupraptor corrupting the others, but no mention of the symbiosis. Okay. I'm not sure how much of Blood Omen's behind-the-scenes stuff was intended at the time, considering the game had 2 endings that Soul Reaver dismisses. Does it? I feel like it's trying to bring those endings into play here. The rest of the circle was acting alongside Nupraptor, especially with the boss fight where you had him and 2 others. So Mobius was mad, and the necromancer who revived me was mad too, and Kain was mad. All corrupted by Nupraptor's madness, inflicted by the death of Ariel.
Ah, yes. The smell of proper devotion. Welcome back, old friend. We've missed you.
Hey, Sark. Hey, oh man. Thanks for 31. Cheers, bro. Yes and no, some Guardians, I definitely got the impression that they were mad, like Azimuth summoning demons and ransacking her own town, for example. That plays. I like that. I didn't think about that. You're right. That's nice. I guess it's Kain's willingness to just say, yeah, they're all symbiotically connected. They all went mad at that same moment, as did I as an infant. That's the part that seems to be a stretch. The idea that Nupraptor's madness, him being the pillar of the mind, was seeping into the others and affecting them differently. Like maybe the necromancer was unaffected by it entirely because he was possessed by a demon, or was a demon, or was just powerful in that way. Whereas the angel bitch starts summoning fucking demons and destroying her own town because she was weak in that way. She was all vibe and no mental substance. Like that sort of stuff's got room to move. I can work with that. But Kain kind of muddies the water with his clarification there. Perhaps it's an unreliable narrator? I'm not sure how to feel about it right now. That's okay. There'll be plenty of time to re-wrap through it. It's interesting nonetheless. The scene itself was beautiful. I just completely missed the implications. There was that whole section of him saying he was supposed to be the New Balance that I just kind of overlooked while focusing on other stuff. Oh, the water was here before. Oh, wait. No. Never mind. There's water at the other bridge. Can I just put down my weapon? Thank you. Fuck that dogger. G'day, Ms. Joe. How are you, mate? What's going on? I guess we'll talk more about this later. It gets way too far into it. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It was a nice. I appreciate a withheld and cursory discussion. I know it's difficult, and I've had to do this myself many times. Having conversations about things frozen in time, frozen at a certain point. It's like, yeah, well, there will be more information later, which will clarify certain things and maybe muddy others or whatever. But right now, I appreciate you withholding, pretending, simulating a lack of understanding so that I can appreciate
fellow
this moment.
For one of our executioners is returned.
Leviathan.
Take up arms, warrior.
Of the motherfucking Broshin. Your name's still too long. You haven't fixed it. What's going on? How are you, darling? I'm great. Happy New Year. I hope you're having a fucking good January. Thanks for keeping that massive fucking sub up, brother. I don't know how much of this lovely Soul Reaver Legacy of Kain series playthrough you've managed to catch, but we're getting into the fucking meat and veg of it now, mate. Fast approaching the halfway mark of this series. I'd wager.
The scourge is upon us.
Always. Mobius said these were his boys, and they've got the time symbol, so they probably are. What? To what degree was Mobius afflicted by this madness, I wonder? Having fun. Weather's been shit for Midwest USA and the country's gone to shit. Well, there's always that, isn't there? I hear you'll be owning Greenland soon. Maybe you could move there. Start fresh.
There's one.
I hear it's nice this time of year. It's a question certainly worth ruminating over, and ruminate I shall. Pontificate, perhaps, if I'm feeling extra inclined. Okay. I need to think. I am at the pillars, and they want me to go into what I would say was somewhere near Nupraptor's mansion, maybe? I don't know. Give or take. Why? I'm not quite sure. It would be up there, I think. But I don't appear to be able to climb walls anymore because video games. Is that right? Oh, wait. I didn't make that connection. I was too focused on the fact that I was unable to climb the wall, even though I know I can climb the wall. But games being video games, I thought I'm not going to whinge about it because I can't use the telekinesis either. Can I? Sorry, I was distracted by my own internal whining. Reth? May I recommend shortening your name to Brov? Brov of the Broshan. I love it. It's perfect. You can use telekinesis? Really? It was hold Y before. Who knows what button combination? Not that I'm aware of, but you know what this game's like. If only they included an instruction booklet with my copy of the game, so that I could know all the buttons or something. But no, just a art book. Well, that's very helpful. Thank you. Fucking game designers, I swear to God. Publishers these days. A bunch of Crystal Dynamics, a lot of them. That's why, Warblazer. This first stream yours I've been able to catch in a hot minute. I'm glad to see you doing all right. I'm doing great, mate. Retro games Mondays and Fridays. Little painting
From
afterwards.
the moment of my arrival, I had the constant and palpable sensation of being watched. Someone, it seemed, was keenly interested in my presence here.
Getting that fucking Patreon going, you know. Branching out. New year. New basket for my eggs. That sort of thing. One thing I remember thinking when I played this is that perhaps Kain's madness didn't really take hold until he became a vampire. At first he talks of trying to cure himself, only later does he seem to fully embrace his vampiric nature. That would be very convenient. In justifying this enormous
From the look of it,
retcon
this door had been sealed for centuries.
Of the original work.
I began to realize it was no mere coincidence that I found myself standing here, beneath this winged figure with blue skin and cloven hands so like my own, and bearing this unique key.
Cloven hands just like my own, but winged and blue. Is this perhaps heading in the direction of where do the vampires come from? Are they a derivative of the angels or something? The seraphim? Hunted by the Saraphen? Or demons? Given how central to this entire story one particular demon is. Whoa. Whoa, I do love a good fucking video game.
It was with a sense of gravity and trepidation that I unsealed that ancient door and crossed the threshold.
I'm ready. I'm fucking ready to cross that threshold right now. Oh my god. Yes. The fucking ancient runes, soul reavers on the fucking walls everywhere, you know, like you know, big answers. Big answers are coming. Fuck you. The way that sound feels like it's part of the song is genius. It's Doom 2016 Mick Gordon blending the music into the fucking gameplay levels of genius. I never heard anything like it before. It's stunning and brave. I mean, a sulfur bath. What of it? This does have demon vibes. Kain said something interesting as well that could allude to this. If I fled to the underside of hell, would you follow? And what are we fighting now? Apparitions? Souls? Oh. It sounds so Killer Instinct to me as well. It's the first thing I said when I did it. Who's calling to me? My controller keeps wigging out. I don't know if it's the connection or something.
As I entered the chamber, I sensed that it had been sealed for hundreds, perhaps thousands of years. And while this room was clearly built when the pillars were erected, I knew that no human hand could have shaped this place, and that perhaps it had never been seen by human eyes. The surrounding murals depicted a winged race, their features so like my own, but beautiful, where mine were grotesque, and angelic, while mine were demonic. I tried to decipher these images. A great war, but with combatants like none I had ever seen. The pillars, raised by this winged race, who thus defeated their adversaries. The winged beings again, writhing in agony, apparently afflicted with the same bloodthirst I had so recently suffered. And throughout the chamber, inscribed everywhere, images of the Reaver itself. Was this what Kain had urged me to discover? I wondered.
Lies, Raziel.
Elder God? Oh yeah.
Do not be deceived.
Ah, my ancient benefactor.
Beneath the fathoms.
And I dared to hope we had parted ways forever. Silence was refreshing, but it lasted. No doubt you have a conveniently inexpressible reason for your presence here.
Do not be insolent, Raziel. I am eternally present here and everywhere, now and always. I am the still center of the turning wheel, the hub of this world's destiny.
But perhaps not so omnipotent as you'd have me believe. Your hold on me appears to be tenuous. I no longer seem to need you. Yet I'm guessing you still need me.
This impudence is unworthy of you, Raziel. Do not forget that you have a task to fulfill here. You are indebted to me.
Indebted? You would have me show gratitude for a gift I didn't ask to be bestowed. Do you forget that you forced me to inhabit this vile carcass?
I restored you to yourself, Raziel. It was Kain who destroyed you. The very enemy you've just let slip through your grasp. Do not fail me, my servant.
I serve no one. Not you, not Kain, and not your lackey Mobius.
Mobius is my good servant. I have many.
And if I tell Mobius that he's worshipping a giant squid, do you think his faith will falter?
You have grown willful, Raziel. But beware. To embrace a serpent is to invite poison into your heart. Kain is a sinuous beast. He will seduce and deceive you. You pride yourself on your free will, yet you let that degenerate deter your resolve.
I harbor no illusions about his integrity, nor anyone else's. In fact, I am beset by manipulation on all sides.
merely seek the truth.
These are the fathomless truths, Raziel. The agony of birth and death and rebirth. This is the wheel of fate, the purifying cycle which sustains all life. Vampires are an abomination, a plague which leeches this land of its spiritual strength. They obstruct the flow of life and death. Their souls stagnate in their wretched corpses. But the wheel must turn. Death is inexorable and cannot be denied. Your destiny is irresistible, Raziel. You are my soul reaver, the scourge of the vampires, reaper of their apostate souls. Remain steadfast, end the vampire's parasitic curse, and restore Nosgoth. Kain's blood belongs on your hands.
Kain indeed deserves to die for condemning me to this repugnant form, but if and when I kill him, it will be for me alone to decide.
Kain destroyed you without a flicker of remorse. He tore the soul from your noble corpse, and after you had served him faithfully for 1,000 years, he discarded you in the abyss on a jealous whim.
Did he?
Remember your rage, Raziel. Let it guide your hand.
Fuck, man. This one's like every time you turn a corner, you gotta unravel fucking 25 minutes worth of shit. Damn. Right, so our little Cthulhu motherfucker is sitting beneath the pillars of Nosgoth at the beginning of Blood Omen. The beginning at our story's inception. He's also down in the underworld, if you will, when Raziel gets thrown there 1,500 years later. And it seems likely to me that he is in both places simultaneously, and that the Pillars of Nosgoth are a seal, a barrier between heaven and hell, and we are the funnel in between. And it seems like that barrier was erected because of the classic angel-demon fallout. Angels erecting a barrier to lock their brethren away. Their brethren turning to some kind of cannibalistic bloodlust. As a result of this banishment, and their ascension and savior in Soul Reaver. That part. Kind of reminds me of Cthulhu from Lovecraft, or Cthulhu from WoW. Absolutely. It's a quite obvious comparison to draw, I think, because they wanted to grab a bit more of the biblical, theological, classic heaven and hell, and then a little Lovecraft as well, and bash it all into the same thing, into this supernatural vampire tale, which is quite clever, really. It's all there. The bloodlust of vampires, maybe, yeah. The Soul Reaver is their tool for salvation. However, it's also our elder god's definition of Raziel, my Soul Reaver. So we have to ask, what does the Soul Reaver do? What's its function? It is to draw souls from one place to another, right? Which this elder god feeds on. But in a world where Kain has killed all of the humans and turned everybody into vampires, this motherfucker's no longer getting his sustenance. The wheel, as we refer to it, the wheel of fate, is no longer working. Which means our Cthulhu is not being fed. Our Cthulhu is not So let's postulate, for example, a pretty classic It Came from Outer Space tale. We're going Bloodborne here, right? So there's a planet and there's a being, and it lands on this planet a millennia ago, and it creates a system. And that system is garbage disposal. It's Elden Ring. Yeah, it's the tree. It's this regurgitation. Elden Ring is in its essence, to my understanding, very similar to this story. In this kind of like the tree sucks in the souls and then puts them in, and there's a fucking creature from outer space living inside the tree that's eating it all, right? Like, the outer god feeds on these souls and constantly flexes titles like the Wheel of Fate, but really he's just a greedy parasite who sits there and is benefiting somehow from the creation of the pillars by attaching himself to it. Now, either A, he came here before the pillars, he is the reason that this first animosity between angel and demon took place, and his reasoning for creating this friction was so that the pillars would be created, so that he could attach himself to it. Or he got here after and conveniently latched on. Either way, he had a plan. Kain fucked with it. Now, another layer to the story. He is not able to move through time and space at will. He has no omniscient control, omnipotent control over space and time, which is why he needs Mobius. Because Mobius does. It's almost like these are the elements of the universe represented in pillar form. And this creature is not able to wield those elements. He needs to rely on others to wield them for him. The next layer is the necromancer. I always forget his name. So I think we have a few different Mortanius. Thank you. I think we have different games being played here. Mortanius. This feels like the Mortanius angle to me, if that makes sense. Like, okay, maybe Mortanius is being controlled by our elder god. Maybe he's not. Maybe there are different players in the game and they're playing their own games. But this whole like redemption of the vampires, or the, okay, now do we stipulate a difference between demon and vampire? Where does not Nupraptor, the OG vampire for us. He wasn't the OG vampire, of course. I don't know who the OG vampire was. Vorador. Where does he come into it? So yeah, we have a timeline of events now. This is I need to get my book out. This is Elden Ring time. We gotta get serious. Then it starts with establishing a timeline. That's where it always begins, right? And the timeline is angels and demons live in harmony. Right? This can't happen if they're not... for a conflict to emerge, there must be a corporation before it. Otherwise, this is the beginning of time, and that seems unlikely. So angels and demons are brothers, right? They are the same species to some degree. They are perhaps from the same source. Then, angels and demons fall out. Conflict. Then, pillars are erected to trap demons below. Maybe angels above, but I don't know. Because these kind of like this is an angel, that's a human, but I actually do see wings on that as well. So maybe the humans are like the next stage of evolution from the angels, or the descendants of the angels, perhaps something like that. So angels are together, angels fall out, angels and demons fall out, pillars are erected, demons become vampires. This is where we start getting a little, I don't fucking know. So we put a question mark on that one. Demons become vampires? Demons create vampires? Something like that. Demons find salvation in Soul Reaver. Are they vampires at this point? They look like it. Remember how the very reason why Kain threw Raziel into the pit is because Raziel grew wings. Okay, so there's another layer there that I haven't thought about for a while, and it's the evolution of the vampiric curse. Is perhaps that because Kain was a human turned into a vampire? And Raziel was a seraphim turned into a vampire? And the seraphim are the blood of the angels? Like they're direct descendants of the angels? Direct descendants of those who erected the Pillars of Nosgoth? Whereas, kind of like Alien, right? The idea of like an alien host. The alien that comes out, thanks to AVP, we know is dependent on which host the parasite is born from. Is this kind of a Raziel was ascending to a level of vampiric enlightenment that would eventually see him become a demon itself, and Kain rejects that because he was born of a human and can never reach, go to those heights. The winged blue beings are more vampire than angel, but they have angelic features here. The pillars are a prison and something gave way and let it seep out, which is a story often used in Lovecraft, old gods and such. Do you think it like Cthulhu was always down below? And the pillars let him leak out? Last take. It's possible he arrived from space and built this system to then start feeding on the souls of the dead. But you mentioned a good point that he doesn't seem omnipotent across all of time, because as we see, he's much smaller here than he was in Soul Reaver 1. So he seems to be different across spaces. Maybe dimensions or something? Yeah, alien adapts from the host DNA. That's right. So if the vampiric curse adapts some of the DNA, that would explain some of Kain's jealousy. Unless the whole reason Kain threw Raziel down is because he saw the future because of Mobius's tower and knew what would happen or whatever. I like to think that Kain did have some jealous motivation for sacrificing Raziel at that time, and later learned through Mobius's tower of the results. Personally. He still knows of Raziel, so he is all-knowing to some degree, perhaps through Mobius? Mobius, it's revealed, I believe, by Raziel here, that Mobius does not know that the being, the god that speaks to him, is actually a giant squid. Which means, A, the giant squid gets things from Mobius that he needs and doesn't have himself, and B, gives the information to Mobius that he chooses to, and has a dominant hierarchy over him. Kain felt betrayed and defied when Raziel dared to evolve before him. What I'm stipulating or postulating here is that Kain maybe didn't even know, but Kain could not have evolved to where Raziel was headed. Not that it was before him, but that Raziel is of a different bloodline. A bloodline of the angels. And by extension, of the demons. And Kain is merely a human. I'm not sure. The jealousy thing is what Raziel insinuated in Soul Reaver 1, but I don't know if it was ever confirmed. Yeah, well, there's that too. A bit of unreliable narration going on here across the board, which I really like. Okay. I got a reasonable timeline up to where I'm happy. Demons, I'm not sure what happens after this scene. No, this scene. I don't know where we go from there in the timeline. Do we jump straight to like humans exist, and then Kain is born, and how do the pillars and the balance? Why do the pillars need to be balanced? Why are they balanced against all of the elements of the universe? Who makes these decisions? It gets complicated. But the fact that there is this entire book worth of backstory that supports the story of this series that we know so far, that only just appeared, fucking heavy. And the fact that there's a fucking Cthulhu monster wrapped himself around the fucking center of the whole bloody thing just makes it all that much more delicious. Can I not swim down there? Oh no, I can. It was just being weird. I wanna go say good day to our little Cthulhu fucker. I love how Raziel was like, "Oh, it's you again." I thought I'd bailed from you by going 1500. That's why that's whose voice we were hearing. Raziel, destroy Kain. Do as I say. Lovely. Lovely. The interesting thing about this story is everything is narrated from Kain or Raziel's point of view, depending on the game, but never an omniscient narrator. True. You're always getting, a sort of a third person. Remember that Kain used Mobius's time streaming chamber when he ruled over Nosgoth. 1,000 years to peek into the past, present, and future. Over the 1,000 years, yeah. When I stole into this chamber eons ago as a human, I could never have contained such knowledge. As a human? Wait a second. I think you've... If you, instead of using a comma at the end of eons ago, use a period and start a new sentence, and it reads, when I stole into this chamber eons ago, as a human, I could never have contained such knowledge. But the way you've punctuated it there implies that you're suggesting that Kain stole into that chamber when he was human? Is that what you're saying? Because that's not the read I got, but it's an interesting little example of some pretty powerful ambiguity. I have no idea what's going on, but pretend I said something witty regarding the law. Don't know why you're British for me, Palaram, but we're gonna roll with it. I'm pretending now. It's hot. No, not my intention. He found the chamber as a vampire. Apologies. Okay, no, cool. Just making sure that that the meaning behind the particular words you're using isn't lost. This is where I came from again. I can make sure I keep getting confused where I'm going in this game. Where do you want me to go now? Same spot. He found the chamber when, not when it was human, but as yeah, cool. All right, long we were establishing that. So then, at what point? Before he created his lieutenants, or after? Before he threw Raziel into the underworld, or after? Okay, just to double check. Is there anywhere else I'm supposed to go in this room? Or am I supposed to leave now? I come down here, I learn these great truths, and I save my game, and then I leave. Is that correct? That's what it feels like I want to do, but this series, well, the Soul Reaver series specifically has been punishing me for those feelings quite a bit. And I can't help but ask. You dive below? An underwater cave. Yeah, see, I miss these little details, and that's where it fucks me. Okay, good. Because I would have ran back to the start of the fucking game otherwise. My instinct was to go down under the water. I just clearly didn't see the fucking cave again, right? Here, with the giant, unmissable, light-glowing orb rocks that they used to direct me here earlier. Oh, I love these fossilized, what do they call these things again? There's Pokemon named after them or something. Ambiites? I can't remember. There's certainly a name for those crustacean-looking fucking cunts. Yellow paint to show the way. Well, that's the thing. They had yellow paint there. It didn't help. That's the irony of the yellow paint situation. Yellow paint never helped anybody, and it doesn't help anybody now. What helps people is good fucking level design. Which, unfortunately, Soul Reaver just doesn't have. I'm sorry. What are you doing? Well, these creatures are in both realms. So they're servants of our elder god, perhaps. Exactly, Warbugs. That's what I always do, though, somehow, isn't it? That's why I need little nudges now. I'm getting too old. I used to pride myself on my ability to do everything by myself, but I need little nudges now. Too old for video games. My natural inclination to avoid exactly where I fucking need to be going is too difficult for me now. Ow! I just ran in a direction. It seems, given the events we witnessed in Soul Reaver 1, when Raziel experiences his vampire evolution is portrayed and thrown into the abyss, and before the formation of the clans, Kain discovered the time... Whoa. Did that sentence just fucking... just die somewhere in the middle, or did I fucking misread? And is betrayed and thrown into the abyss, and before the formation of the clans, Kain discovered the time chamber. I can't get the information I need out of that syntax. I'm sorry. I feel more confused than I did going in as to whether or not we know whether or not Kain has visited Mobius's tower at that point. It's German syntax. The sentence is split. Oh, that could be it. I can't pass it. It would explain why between the time after Raziel was brought back and the fall of Kain's empire, he abandoned his empire in order to study the Time Chamber's secrets to find a way back. Oh, man. Do you know what the 4 different sentence types are, Casey? That we use in English? Simple, complex, simple, and run-on. Have you ever looked into those before? In particular, why we use the ones we use in what scenarios? Why we choose which types at what times? I wouldn't be surprised if you hadn't. I hadn't until I had. But if this is the first time that this has ever come across your plate, I recommend a little Google. Because you might find that people like me are able to understand what the fuck you're trying to say a lot better if you do. Okay, I just jumped down here and then went back into the real world. And in the real world, I'm now swimming. And I'm swimming around in a giant room with a bellend in the middle of it. Because Kain is here. I jumped in, so it must be this way. It must be this way. Looks like I could have ran up here, the stairs. Oh, exactly so. Okay. Just follow the glowing rocks then. Underground passage. It looks like you're coming back through here later. All I did was press A to jump out of the water. And this cunt fucking did a 180, aimed at the ground like a bullet, and then sped there. What the fuck? I just pressed A. That's it. I didn't even move the stick.
I surfaced into a very different landscape. The daylight barely penetrated the dense canopy of this forest. Here I discovered an ancient ruin, unmistakably one of Mobius's time-streaming chambers, but long ago sealed and abandoned to the encroaching swamp. I didn't currently possess the means to break this seal, but I thought in time that I might.
Okay. In case anyone's listening. This totally is the swamp with Vorador's fucking mansion in it, isn't it? I think that's his fucking house right there. I remember coming through this fucking mansion as a werewolf. But I'm getting the impression I'm not allowed in yet because Mobius's time gates are blocking me, quite literally. I wonder if this is before... No. I don't know when the Vampire War was. Maybe this is before Vorador has taken this mansion. Possible. Alright, I'm not entirely sure what you're saying with the way you're saying it, Casey. So I'm gonna leave it there for now. But it is an interesting thought that I'm glad we're asking. Which is, what's the timeline of Kain's activities? It's you.
So, my lurking observer was exposed. The creature vanished when he realized he was discovered, but I caught a glimpse of him, and his features were distinctive enough.
This was the vampire Vorador, the monstrous assassin depicted in the Stronghold. Strange that a creature brazen enough to assault the Circle single-handedly would avoid confronting me. Very well. If Vorador would not come to me, I would go to him. But first, I needed to find some means of reaching that terrace.
New powers? We need some new powers? How curious. That was Grom Hellscream. This isn't the same timeline you played through as Kain pre-fight against William. So there's the original Blood Omen timeline. There's the timeline that is created when Kain goes back in time to kill Willem. That becomes the timeline that goes to Soul Reaver. That becomes the timeline that goes to Soul Reaver 2. Which at that point comes back to 30 years before the Blood Omen timeline. And what you're positing is that is not the same as the Blood Omen, original Blood Omen timeline, because that's as far as I've got. I'm missing a detail that I can't recall, I think. What's more interesting is you bringing it up right fucking now is the reason I don't know where the fuck I am again. Never gonna find my way through this fucking game. I haven't played through this one again yet. So you can't help me fucking figure out where to go if I get stuck. Gee! Go on, brother. You're almost in time for painting. Trying to speed paint some fucking night haunts, bro. Really enjoyed your big fucking tanky thing. Very nice detail. Bravo, sir. I'll play this week. Yeah, I mean, there's no rush. I'll be here a while, I'm sure. Depending on how fucking obnoxious the puzzles and stuff are as well. A lot of the time I spent playing the first game was trying to solve some pretty nasty puzzles, particularly up to about the halfway point. Which is when I kind of wrapped up. Alright, we got a save point coming up, and I'm thinking this is where we call it. Because I don't know when the next save point's going to be, and we've only got 15 minutes left in the show. Plague Burst Crawler. Lost a game to Grey Knights yesterday. Ah, bugger. Plague Burst. Sounds like a Nurgle Chaos Army or something? Jungle, yeah, bro. I love that we're back in the fucking swamps where fucking Vorador's mansion is. It was my favorite part of the original game. Mostly because of the particular line delivery of entering Vorador's mansion. Where he sort of like, he suggested that the opulence of Vorador's mansion, which doesn't seem so opulent just yet, was and how it hadn't been raided and robbed and stolen from was a testament to the fear that humans had of this place. Death Guard? Okay, cool, nice. I've been trying to understand this combat and give it some grace from the time it came out, but man, what the fuck? I feel like Devil May Cry came out before this one, maybe. I don't know how you could have this combat.
Fellow expletives, for one of our
and DMC
is returned.
Druath!
Take up arms, warrior. The battle rages.
Huge fucking motherfucker you are, aren't you, mate? Cheers, brother. Thanks for the good fucking show. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back on Friday morning, same time.
Twat face!
Gary, is that you? I'll be back on Friday, same time for Thursday night, I guess, for a lot of you, for a continuation of Soul Reaver 2 and all the juicy explanations and discussions. They were released about a month apart. Wow. Imagine building this whole game and then a month before you launch, Devil May Cry comes out and shows you what the fuck combat you could have made. Get owned. No wonder I never heard about this fucking game. I was playing DMC and nobody that I was playing it with was talking about this shit. It's a shame because of how good the story is, but man. And 2 weeks later, MGS2 came out. That's what I was fucking playing. Oh my god, I was such a Metal Gear Solid 1 fanboy at the time. Me and Tristan was just drooling, salivating for MGS2. We'd already played the tanker as well, but at this point, oh god, what a time to be alive. Had to beat that shit without the memory card. I did 7 without a memory card. Final Fantasy 7. Imagine that. Something else.
Spunky muck fuck face.
Hey, is that G? Thanks, bro. Cheers, mate. MGS was indeed next level. You damn right it was. Still is. But I'm so fucking glad I'm getting to play through Legacy of Kain now because, man, this really has a lot going on. The gameplay does falter in certain places, but God, the amount of unraveling of this brilliant story and the interesting paths that it has taken through time is so fucking interesting. I'm going to be thinking about it all week. Loving Soul Calibur 2. Can't fucking wait to get back to it on Friday. However, the time has come. I'm going to be heading out. It says 20 minutes. I'm probably going to start it early if I can. We'll see what happens. I'm still learning how this Patreon shit works. But we were doing some contrast speed painting for some sweet-ass night haunts. We're practicing, and I'm going to keep practicing that technique and comparing it. But I got a bunch of fresh built primed bangers to go. So hopefully I can keep practicing this technique, and while I'm waiting for paint to dry, start putting this technique to the test and see if I can use it to paint a bunch of cunts really fucking quickly, which is something I've never done before. I'm not a speed painter, which I'm sure is blowing your fucking mind right now as you sit here looking at the world's premier speedrunner of video games, and you would assume, given that I play video games so fucking quickly, that I would also paint quickly, but you'd be surprised. I'm actually quite a slow painter. Take my time. And I'm looking to learn new styles so that I can actually move through some of this plastic and get to some much bigger parts of this army over the course of this year. Anyway, share this event, share link, paste. There you go. That should bring you over. The show's going to start up right as this one finishes. If not, if you're not interested in painting, I'm going to be raiding into my my other channel, my VOD channel, my offline channel, where you can just keep watching. I think they're watching Zelda or something over there at the moment. There's plenty of stuff going on if you want to watch more video games, or
You're right, dick bag.
go outside or something. Thank you. You know, do whatever the fuck you want, I guess. I'm just glad you were here. I'm glad we were here to share this together, and thank you. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you again soon. Cheers.
You alright, dickbag?